All right. Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good day, good night. We are here on day one of this awesome event we will have of all bosses on the Dark Souls and Sekiro and Bloodborne. So it will be like the Soulsborne Nekiro event. Today we have Dark Souls 2 all bosses, and we have amazing people, awesome, outstanding runners and commentators. I will jump into the call and I will let them introduce by themselves. All right, so as the runner one, we have GinoMachino.
Yo.
As a runner two, we have ECWW. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a mic, so as the first commentator, we have Otzdarva.
Hello.
And as a second commentator, we have MC Drunkard.
Hello, hello.
Okay, so it's an honor to have you all here, guys. It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much. And I will mute myself, and I will leave you to do what you know to do.
Perfect.
Well, Drunky, what is up? It's been a while.
It has been a while. Usually it's us going against each other.
Yeah. We have a sort of like friendly rivalry and back and forth history of trying to beat Dark Souls 2 in increasingly dumb ways. Now you have beat me in a number of creative ways. I think you have bow only. You were also basically one of the first to beat Dark Souls 2 no hit run. I spent a lot of time and lost years of my life trying to do no hit run all bosses. And now we're going to watch two people put us to shame and make us look absolutely pathetic. Are you ready for that?
Absolutely. Get rid of the old men, bring in the better youngsters.
Oh, I am super excited. Our first runner is GinoMachino, who, if you're familiar with the community at all, almost needs no introduction. He is one of the most accomplished no-hit runners, having beaten basically any Souls-like game that can be no-hit run. In
let alone the amount of world's first that he has.
He does it in spectacular fashion. He does it fast. He optimizes other people's strats if he doesn't come up with his own, and does it really smoothly. He's also smashed pretty much every single competition that he's ever been in. And yeah, wow, what a nice thing to have him here. And not at all expected. We have someone else who can actually put up a fight against this monster, and that is Easy from Brazil, a dedicated no-hit runner who has been grinding it on Dark Souls 2, who even Gino himself says might be able to do this run faster than him. Now, we'll have a very long run going ahead. We'll have a lot of time to unpack, but Dark Souls 2 all bosses no-hit run not that long ago was widely believed by many people to just straight up be impossible. It wasn't that long ago where no one wanted to run this category. Just nobody wanted to run it. And now we have two people that are not only confident in running it, that not only have already done it, they want to do it in a little over 3 hours. 3 hours. Can we begin to even understand how far that is from the original runs that I and other people did that took 10 plus hours? It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and like when you first started, I believe it was 12, 13 hours, and even cutting it down from there seemed rough and seemed impossible.
Mm-hmm. Now, admittedly, like many strats were found. For example, in some of the original strats, we would recruit all of the Lois Knights, remember?
Oh, yeah.
And obviously cutting one out of that was the better choice. Like, there was definitely room for improvement. But I'm not going to lie, when we did get runs down to 9 hours, I thought that was pretty optimized. I thought that was pretty fast. Yeah, sure, we did go out of our way to get some items, to open some things, to secure some weapons for certain fights, but out of the cutting 1 or 2 hours from that would be impressive to me.
Because you would go out of your way to grab some of those extra items, like you talked about, in order to make it a little easier. And you're like, you would think, but just cutting out all that extra stuff and just lowering the amount of time ended up being the better route instead.
Yeah, I still think this is something that not everybody can do. I'm not sure I could do this honestly. Even if I were to follow a guide or a detailed walkthrough, I still feel like I'm not capable of keeping up the consistent speed and consistent inputs required to do some of the crazy things that we're going to see today. And in fact, I think Gino has already uploaded a successful no-hit run in a little over 3 hours. Now, I don't know about you, Drunky. Part of me wanted to watch that so that we could be better commentators today and we could break down every strategy with knowledge in advance. But another bigger part of me didn't want to watch it so that we can react.
I'm in the same boat as you, man. I'm in the same boat.
So are you ready to have your mind absolutely blasted by what these two people are about to show us?
Oh, I'm ready, but is chat ready?
Please, chat, let us know if you are also on this hype train and you're ready to see Gino and Easy absolutely blast through a game that probably took you 60 hours to beat in a little over 3 hours while beating every boss without getting a scratch on them potentially.
This is going to be exciting.
Yep. And I don't know if our runners need a little bit of a warm-up. If they're ready to go, we will perhaps consult with them where they need a little bit more time and we can talk about them a bit more. If they're ready to go, there might be nothing stopping us and we might see the start of the run immediately. So either way, if you need to grab some popcorn, I think it might just be the time.
Yeah, I think we're good to go.
Perfect.
Okay, then.
All right,
excited to see how they'll create a new character and whether or not we're going to go with default Blondie. I think bonus points if they make a cute character.
Spend some extra time just for the aesthetic. All right. Well, without further ado, are we ready for a countdown here, Otz?
I don't do countdowns. I'm sorry. I'm going to leave that to you.
All right. Well, here we go. Gino and Easy doing all bosses, all content DS2. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good luck to the two of you. Oh dear.
Perfect.
All right. Now, let's do a brief review of the rules of a no-hit run for anyone perhaps unfamiliar. Drunky, would you like to take over that? Maybe you're a bit more familiar with me. It's been a while for me, if I'm completely honest.
So the base rules of getting hit, it does vary slightly between games depending on certain aspects. You know, like in Dark Souls 3, the jailers have that attack that lowers your health.
Right.
But it's your max health, not your current health.
Right. There are a lot of special rules and considerations.
Yes, but the base rules,
Dark Souls 2,
for the base rules, it's if your health gets lowered by an enemy or a trap, or if you die. Those are both hits. So if or if you get staggered. So the spitters in the Black Gulch, if those hit you, that's a hit because that's a trap. Even though it's not doing direct damage, it's still affecting your character.
So very basically, anything that can be avoided that comes from an enemy, a boss, or an environmental trap, that's hit. Now, taking damage from a little fall is completely okay as long as it doesn't kill you. Because if it does kill you, that's something you could avoid. I like to see the cute hair on Gino. That's great.
And as well as the environment, like the fire in the Rotten fight, as well as the Seldora spikes, those are not considered trap. Those are totally fine to walk on, to get hurt on, and to use an RTSR setup for.
You still need to be careful because that could result in you dying if you're not careful.
Correct. So, high risk, high reward.
Exactly. And obviously, these two characters are not going to be spending any time in the tutorial section. Straight ahead, going instead towards Majula, the hub part of the world. One of them will be killing our friendly NPC here. Unfortunately, his armor is very, very helpful in securing more souls, which is an integral part of leveling up quick and unlocking access to certain areas. So you're probably going to see both of them killed our armor Moglin very, very early.
And don't feel bad for Moglin. He becomes kind of a douche later on in the game.
You're doing him a favor, basically.
Don't feel sorry for him.
Right. So Drunky, do you want to explain why they're holding their hands like that? Are they praying for the? You notice that both of our characters have,
correct. When I was
are two holding their own hands.
Correct. When I was doing the original DS2 no hit runs, I did get some inspiration from speed runs and other stuff. And what I found out is when you two hand your left hand, you actually skip some animations like going through a fog wall, lighting a bonfire, picking up items. And so it helps you to cut down on like shaving off seconds here and there, as well as if you're trying to run away from enemies, you can get through the fog gate faster.
Mm-hmm. No, that can be actually, that can come in clutch. Obviously, this is not a speed run per se, but these two are most certainly in the business of doing things fast. And after securing a couple items, you can tell they're already moving into the first area. Now, this is already a bit of a break from a typical no-hit run. I don't know if you'll agree with me, but most people would immediately go to the Hyde's Tower of Flame to secure a very, very early easy boss cheese that would give them some extra souls. But I think they're not afraid at all. They know they can go through this, especially with some alluring skulls.
Absolutely.
Although I don't know if... Did we see Gino buy some alluring skulls as well? Did he just not equip them?
Yes.
Yeah, there he is.
So you can get through this area with just 3 alluring skulls. Mm-hmm. But it's going to be exciting to see what order of bosses they do this in.
Right.
And just how well it happens.
Right. So typically this is an area that you could come a bit later with a few extra schools, maybe a little bit more room for mistake. Doing this now is very time efficient, but also basically requires you to play it just fine. We're still in reset territory. If they were to get hit now, that would be okay. It would be okay to reset these early. But a little bit more into the run, no more resets. If they take a hit, that's it.
Correct. Usually the rule is before the first boss is dead. So maybe that's why they're skipping.
Right. Yeah.
Dragon
Honestly,
Rider.
Not a crazy idea. So we see some small purchases, and what we're going to see here is a drop with very, very good timing. That timing allows the healing item to still work despite taking damage shortly after. I really, really like it. I think that's a really, really creative way of going through and taking damage, but also going forward.
Mm-hmm. And even though they're like in a regular no-hit run, you don't want, or you're not trying to speed run it, it does help to get through a run if you have little tricks to help you speed up. Because when you're doing these runs back to back, 3-4 hours in a row,
and
it really helps to shave down.
Oh my god, look at that. Some beautiful strategies taking place. He ducks under an enemy's range attack, opens a shortcut, does a running attack into a shield enemy that staggers them, uses the last alluring skull to get through here, unlock what will be soon a shortcut, and then head into the first boss just like that. I would still be in the tutorial area creating my character, by the way. And we're going to see Gino do probably something very, very similar. Oh, he just dodged. Wait a minute, he's not opening the shortcut, actually.
So we have some variants right off the bat.
That I guess that's safe, but that looks so sketchy. I'm sure you'll agree.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Wait a minute. Did you notice the enemy there? Is Gino playing on the original version of the game?
They both are, actually.
This is not color?
That's correct.
Are you kidding me?
I was waiting for you to notice.
Am I only finding out now? Okay. I think this event needs to be canceled. They are just playing on the illegal version of this game. Hold on a minute. Hang on a second.
And so this makes you really happy that you didn't go back to watch the VODs either. Because myself and Dots have neither put in like that many hours into this game compared to Scholar.
No, basically, like I understand. I have some basic rudimentary understanding of the differences, but not a lot of experience playing on both, actually. So
I put in 49 hours.
Okay. Listen, now I understand a little bit better why it can be done a little bit faster, because in this version of the game, they all spawn with the DLC keys, right?
Correct.
So they do not need to.
They don't have to go get them from the pit.
That is kind of a bit time consuming. It's maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes saved getting each key. One of them is relatively on the way. But because you don't need to go and then go back, you can actually unlock them as you go. That's actually pretty cool.
And it's also a bit easier to get to. Right.
So we see Easy
here.
about to destroy the pursuer. I noticed that they didn't even roll, making it look even cooler.
Correct. And the traditional route or way of doing that was to get in the corner of the cart and the barrel, but since he knows the positioning perfectly, he can just run right by him and shoot him down.
That's really cool. I wonder if Gino will do something similar. And we can have a repeat of that. Gino started slightly later, but if we take that into account, I think they are running basically shoulder to shoulder here.
Absolutely, I agree.
And okay, this is one part of the game that actually is a little bit easier to run through.
Yeah, you don't have the archer pointing at you and a couple of other enemies.
All right, let's see.
Gino's doing the same thing.
Okay, well, that's just disgusting.
Gino likes to watch his prey die. That's why he stares at pursuer here.
Right. So that also means, and this is a kind of a big deal, no forlorn invasions, if I'm right.
Correct, which is one of my favorite aspects of Scholar, even though they've screwed me over in every tournament.
I had never seen that. That's so smart. Okay, so Noise gets the attention of the jailer, which then tries to go in a straight line towards the player and just falls off. Now, these dogs are a bit of a nuisance, but obviously...
It looks like Easy's taking care of him pretty easily.
Yeah, no.
The name.
Absolutely. And I'm guessing this is perhaps the more consistent way of making sure that barrel doesn't blow up.
Correct. Yeah, I always take the risk, but it's not always worth it. And so it's pretty smart of him to just say, "Screw it, I'll take this guy out."
On a marathon type of run where you really don't want to reset.
That and they have the benefit of the two-handing the axe will actually stagger the jailer.
Nice. That's really, really good. We see the first divergence here in paths from the two of them. It seems like while Easy push forward, Gino's already going to the next area.
Dragon Rider. Mm-hmm. Oh no.
Maybe just to unlock the area, however. It bears mentioning, however, that in this version of the game, this blacksmith will actually not talk to you unless you reach the incredibly far away distant location of the Iron Keep.
Correct. Yeah, because you need that ember.
Yeah. So do you think they'll get it, or screw that?
I think they will eventually.
Yeah, I think in a speedrun sort of way, I think they could grab it on the way.
Because this will be interesting because Gino's completed SL1, no infusions, no upgrades already.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
He's used to not upgrading.
He does not need a +6 or a +7 or
exactly.
A +10
he's already proven that he's able to do it with a pointy stick.
Right. That does also simplify this area a little bit.
Gino going for the jump.
Oh, okay, dude. Oh, okay. Really? That's what? Does it save like?
Is he trying to show off here?
6 seconds? Okay, that's just. Okay, fair enough. Well, regardless of the version of the game, I think this Dragon Rider fight needs no commentary. Just wait a little bit, has this predictable attack, strafe to the side, and off he goes.
6.5 steps.
Yeah, easy 1,000 souls coming up. And I think he already has secured the ring and the clothes, right? So he's getting full value of that. I'm expecting...
Going for the souls.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's so smart. Look at that tiny little bit of optimization where he pops a soul while talking to the NPC. I like that.
Smart.
Dude. That's the kind of stuff I just would not immediately come up with or implement into my runs. And those little bit of seconds after seconds, they do add up. So that's one of the reasons why these two are probably going to be able to run this just as fast as they are. And they also take the jump on the right. Okay.
Easy. Nice. He was a little more towards the right. That jump still scares me, even after all those hours.
Do you want to explain the concept while we see Dragon Rider get humiliated again? Do you want to explain the concept of baby jumps? Are you kidding me? Are you okay? All right. He did not need to do it dirty like that. I guess there is enough time, but
that's good. A little bit of showing off here and there. Time optimization. It's all coming down to. They're really showing how many hours they've put into this game, and the seconds they can save from doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Baby jumps in this game. I feel like it's more prominent in base game compared to Scholar. I could be wrong, but if you don't get a jump perfectly, or you're a frame, or a millimeter a little too short, it'll make you do a little tiny hop, like you're playing like hopscotch, compared to actually making the jump, and that could result in just falling to your death. and it's not optimized very well. It's not really consistent. So it's something to be wary
I think
of.
there used to be some patch that someone created some time ago to try to avoid them. The way I understand them, and I don't think either of these players is using it, by the way. The way I understand it, basically, if the game detects that you're falling a tiny little bit before the drop, just because there's some obstacle or your input was a little bit late, it's like you begin to fall prematurely. And you do not jump off the height of the platform that you think you're on. Instead, you just begin to jump after you start falling. And that tiny little bit of drop basically makes you not reach whatever you're trying to jump towards, and it's an easy death. And we're going to see a really back-to-back... okay.
So Easy has upgraded his weapon. Gino got the Grave of Saints bonfire. Now he's going down towards the Gulch area.
Are you kidding me? They're... Wait a minute.
Oh, because they are doing all bosses, so it is convenient to just grab this bonfire here so they can teleport to it later.
Am I crazy? Did I see someone use a bribe buck?
I'm not sure.
Could it be? Did Gino pop a bribe buck?
Oh, he did. Yeah, you're right.
To kill what?
He's hurting my hoarder mindset right now.
You have 41 bosses. You have like 4 of these items that are incredibly expensive, and you pop one right now. But for what reason?
To beat the well. to beat the pit.
All right, we're gonna have to add that one to the questions that we'll ask them later. That's the kind of jump that we just saw in this on Gino's, and that we're gonna see in 2 seconds on Easy's side. That is very prone to this baby jump issue. So hopefully we see them both pull it off flawlessly. And they do.
I am happy they're going through this direction. So they can grab some of these extra items instead of skipping them.
Yeah, I do remember the last time I checked on Gino's progress, he was maybe considering grabbing more dung pies for some of the later bosses. I think he's not even bothered, to be honest, with the route he just used. That's just quite ridiculous.
Easy did grab those, though, just as you were talking about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe that could be handy later.
So coming up here, all these statues, these are what we were referring to earlier, where these are considered a trap. So even if it doesn't fully poison you, even if it doesn't
please look at Gino right now and look at the amount of projectiles he's dodging just casually. Each and any one of those can hit you and will hit you on your first playthrough and on your 600th playthrough, because it's really unpredictable. But he has this incredible knowledge and the execution to pull it off. Because we're not in Scholar, he can actually just go right through. Easy's
doing the same thing. And I will say, once you learn this run through, it's so satisfying compared to the original strat that we came up with of throwing fire bombs and you having your spear to get,
no, I believe that.
Easy messed up on that jump.
And a cheeky jump to circumvent some of the statues. That is so much harder than it looks. I'm so sorry. And I really like Gino's strat here. He does this basically without needing to roll. Because he is quite used to doing this at level 1 and whatnot, he figured out time-efficient safety strategies without having to necessarily roll and use the very, very difficult iframes that you get at level 1 in Dark Souls 2.
Because for those that don't know, Dark Souls 2 is different from Dark Souls 1 and 3 in the terms of iframes. You have to level up ADP in order to get extra iframes to be even with Dark Souls 1, and then further to be even with Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
And so at level 1, you're rocking, I think it's like 4 or 5 iframes, so it's really risky to roll unless you get it frame perfect. And so trying to learn...
If the attack has a wide hitbox, your timing might just need to be perfect. And that attack right there is honestly one of the worst contenders.
Correct, because that hitbox will linger for a while.
He doesn't even need to dodge it. And very, very impressive, by the way. Easy just caught up to Gino.
So
with an even faster boss.
Gino,
so now
Gino caught up to Easy, and I think they both done pretty much not the exact same stuff, but in different orders. But they've both accomplished the same amount of tasks.
Okay, so full disclosure, I am feeling a little bit better because right now these two would have to go back, kill some giants, which is unsafe, then go back again, then grab a key, then come back again, then deal with an invader, then come back here again, and then open this DLC. But because we're playing base game, they don't need to do any of that. So it actually does streamline the process quite a bit. And I kind of prefer it, if I'm honest, because it's a lot of time wasted.
Oh, and then Chippy Miller.
It's a lot of back and forth walking that doesn't really add much to the run. It just extends it. So
correct.
I do enjoy this.
Chippy Miller in chat did correct me, saying that I don't believe Gino has gotten McDuff yet.
No, he did not. He did not. And it's lovely to see that they have basically the exact same amount of souls. However, look at that.
Oh wow, you're right.
Okay. So this would be Shulba, the first DLC. The first DLC is honestly almost endgame levels. These DLCs are really tough unless you're geared. If it's on your first playthrough, you would typically have to be endgame leveled to have a good chance against some of these mobs and the bosses that are coming later. But obviously, these two are just going to breeze through. They had different paths around it. And I believe Gino is interested in this level. Is this level 7 pre-upgraded bow?
Interesting.
So is easy, but you notice that easy picked out the bow.
Did it all in one swoop, yeah.
Yep, and shot at a particular pressure plate to then raise himself back up. And he's doing this in a more smooth way. Also a bit of an unsafer way, though.
Oh. Menuing while traversing platforms like that makes me uneasy.
I genuinely think you need to be made of something else to do that. I do not see myself doing that. I am holding right here. You are being shot at by like 6 different enemies, and luckily they don't have a shot on you. But sometimes things just go wrong. We do see Easy picking up a mace that will allow you to poison yourself. This could be handy to set up red tear stones later, I am sure. And it looks like Gino might be after the same item. Honestly, why wouldn't you, right?
And Gino was talking earlier how Easy will most likely be faster than him. And I think we're definitely seeing little pieces of that now with just shaving off seconds here and there, grabbing items in one fell swoop instead of having to, go back to the bonfire.
Obviously, that means absolutely nothing if one of these runners were to take an accidental hit that sets their health to 0 and die. That would probably skew things into the favor of the other person. So it's not like this is by any means going to be a trend. Both of them will need to perform perfectly. Being a tiny little bit faster doesn't make up for dying once, probably.
Correct. So Easy's taking the path of, those straightforward one swoop, grab all the items and go type of deal.
Which is incredibly impressive. Look at that.
Yeah. But if he ends up getting hit or dying, he's punished more. So
absolutely.
It's once again, high risk, high reward type of deal.
Okay. That is an incredibly sketchy room. And you can spend a couple minutes there, no problem, trying to shoot everything and streamlining it a bit, making it simpler. And it looks like Gino's going to handle it in exactly the same way.
Yeah, those bugs can be iffy.
There, getting some poison throwing knives that I'm sure could be handy later. The item they're going to grab here is actually probably quite important. They've only defeated, correct me if I'm wrong, but 3 bosses right now?
I believe so.
Rotten, a giant, Dragon Rider? So
Pursuer.
And Pursuer, yeah, okay, that one barely counts, I suppose. 4 bosses, so with 37 bosses to go, each of those is most likely going to be hit really hard by this ring they just picked up. Very, very ballsy play from...
so Easy was doing the noise strat again.
Yeah, which honestly is kind of insane, but okay. And Gino is actually getting rid of this little caster first, which seems the safer way. And the DLCs in Scholar and original Dark Souls 2 are actually identical as far as I know, with maybe the only exception of the occasional Forlorn invasions. But I think other than that, I think they're identical.
Yes, I think most of the changes were in base game.
Yeah. So that works.
So it's not a noise strat, it's to hit that switch on the other side of the wall because it's just barely within the AoE of the firebomb. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Wow, I had never seen that. That's actually saves quite a bit of time because it doesn't require you to go far into that really tight staircase going down where you could potentially be ambushed. So that's really, really smart.
Gotcha. And then Backflippiest in chat is correcting us, saying that there's different item placement in the DLCs, including aesthetics.
Okay.
So that's one of the major changes in the DLCs.
I don't think that's gonna play a huge role, but it might, honestly.
No, not as much as main game with I think the biggest beneficial change for them is the fact that they don't need to run around to get the DLC keys.
Right. I'm not gonna lie. I've been staring at Gino for a little over a minute, and I just looked on the right side, and what is happening? He's out on the final boss, basically of the run. He's gone through the rotunda of Majula. I guess he warped back at some point, and after unlocking the Flint's ring, I guess he's comfortable going this next route. What do you think is the reasoning behind it?
Well, it looks like Gino is grabbing some extra items here.
Wait,
some extra. Yeah.
Wait. The puzzling stone sword? Is it here for the upgraded material? Wait, why would he pick that?
I don't believe Gino grabbed the. Did he grab that +7? No, he grabbed the bow, but
he did grab.
No, sorry. Yeah, I was just trying to recollect the items he's grabbed so far.
That sword is not bad, but Gino wouldn't pick it up for no reason.
I think if I can guess, he's going to use it to grab some more distant enemies.
Yeah,
for more of a ranged hit.
I could see this being useful to grab to hit enemies through walls or some kind of safety strat. But
like your spear strat in Black Gulch, for example.
Right. So it's also a very, very lightweight weapon, but it does upgrade with regular materials. So if you upgrade this weapon a bunch, I believe. Wait,
Matt in chat is saying that it's for the Skelly Lords.
I did see that.
Maybe to get rid of the bone wheels, like around the bases.
I mean, it does have this really crazy attack where you do an R2 and it sweeps around you. So you could do that while they spawn. And let's not forget, in original Dark Souls 2, the Skelly Lords are actually quite different. You get 4 of each type of skeletons. Remember? So
there's no particular order that you have to kill them in.
I'm not
correct.
I'm not sure, but what it means is instead of having a bunch of the skinny skeletons, then 4 of the armor ones, and then 2 of the skelly wheels, they actually come in 4, 4, and 4. So maybe the idea is to stand in the middle and hit them all with the spinning attack.
Interesting.
Either way, I am looking forward to that. That seems really, really interesting. And I might have been wrong. It might be that the sword actually upgrades with Twin Titanite, and I forgot. So more alluring skulls to make time there. Love to see that their strategies are actually not too different so far. That was a little bit spooky, right?
But then again, once you do this at SL1, you realize the specific hitboxes of enemy attacks, and so you learn where you can stand.
No, yeah, for sure.
Both of these people have done SL1.
Yeah, this looks a lot scarier than it probably. Okay, dude. Was that really necessary? He just jumped into a drawbridge, dropping down on his ass. All right. Okay. They must be having the biggest shit-eating grins right now, knowing that it's
and that sidestep is just sexy.
Yeah. Okay. That I think is a really good attack to take advantage of. And I guess getting the Leo ring from Fake Onslaught here is going to be really good as well.
Especially while using the rapier, yeah.
Yeah, I would be scared to do this boss a little bit early, but I knew that if I did, from now on, with the rings they have, Ring of Blades, Ring of Flynn, Ring of Leo, they actually have quite a bit of damage for the upcoming bosses. And of course,
you get one of the scarier bosses out of the way early on. Right.
And they have the Red Tearstone as well. Gino, I believe, just picked it up.
Easy just made a fool of Dragon Ruff.
I know.
Dragon Slayer.
I was watching. That was disgusting. Very good stuff.
So he is.
I love that. See, that's the kind of speedrun. That's the kind of speedrun strat that is very safe. If you miss it, nothing happens. So why wouldn't you, right?
If you get it perfectly, you end up landing your jump on top of the railing, and you instantly like speed burst off into the lower ones. Oh, what the hell? Ooh,
I think his idea was to stay on top of the railing to save that extra couple seconds. And it didn't work
early,
but it's okay and it's fine. But wow, just the fact that you would be trying that is out of the
and some of the hitboxes in this game can literally just push you off of things. So
yeah,
that one made me nervous again.
I wonder if we'll see Gino attempt this as well. Nah, he's gonna take a little bit of time to poison himself and go.
Which is smart, doing two things at once.
Honestly, yeah. This next boss, I think, is handled really well with poison. Do you think they're gonna do that, or maybe not? Honestly,
I think they're gonna be doing so much damage with the rapier and all the rings at this point that it's gonna be trivial
right.
anyways.
You are right. If you take this boss early with an unupgraded weapon, yeah, poison's the way to go.
And this boss isn't too difficult. I will say one interesting thing about this boss is if you're using ranged attacks, you'll always get the sword boss instead of the club. If you're using sorceries, hexes, any kind of magic, even bow and arrow, always using consumables, you still get that boss. So only when you're using melee is it easier to get the club end.
Right, I imagine. Now this area is a little bit different in the base game as well. I don't think you have the whole gimmick of using the fire up top here, did you? Does it work here as well?
I don't know. I never used fire in this area. Oh, okay. You mean like you're holding a torch to run through?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, I think it would still work. Yeah, I think that was still in the original.
Yeah. Yeah. In the original DS2, it was supposed to be all dark and you're supposed to like have a torch with you the entire time. So thankfully they got rid of that.
Oh, look at that. That's the original location of Gavin. Right. And the reason they came in there is just to talk to him so that he'll show up later and maybe you'll get access to selling some stuff and getting poison arrows. Very nice. And I'm guessing they're coming to this side of the pier to do a little jump. Wow.
You seeing some sorcery happening?
That's so efficient. Okay, they're not taking the jump to the other side.
And Gino is playing a little safer with these long arm guys with a torch.
Yeah, honestly, can you blame him? I think that's smart. I think that's smart. These guys are so unpredictable. They have
especially in a 3-hour run. You want to lose it to those guys.
Which is more credit to Easy, how he somehow got through without a hitch there. Very impressive.
Absolutely.
Don't forget, you can't be shot here from like 6 different places by a bunch of different archers and whatnot. So even though you don't see all of the danger, it doesn't mean it's not there. So
Easy's fighting Flexile right now and just making work of him. Just super easy.
Oh, that's
nice damage.
Disgusting. Yeah. Very good understanding as well of how much damage you're going to do, because I'm sure you can agree, doing damage in this game is not consistent. Your stamina,
especially if you're getting the what does that hit? The like you hit them right before they hit you or right after?
The counter damage.
Yeah, the counter damage.
Yeah, so like if you don't know exactly what you're doing, you could think that the next hit will kill the boss and then make a fool of yourself. So I am very, very confident in telling you all that if you were to emulate what you see here, you would get very different results with just the slightest change of inputs or anything like that. So this is not one of those things that's easier than it looks. I honestly, genuinely think it's
look at that spacing.
Very impressive. Yeah, that's crazy. And that's it. And now it's Rotten time.
And he is going for the RTSR setup in the fire. And like Mats was saying earlier, that could be a huge benefit. But if you end up rolling into the fire during dodging an attack, boom, you're dead.
Yeah. So I think in you and I, we have a perfect encapsulation of the two approaches. Because McDrunkard likes to do this, doesn't he? You wear a red tearstone enjoyer.
I do red tearstone as often as I can.
Right. So he would walk into the fire, and then he would lose some of his health and drop it down to below, I believe, 20% in this game, and that's really, really good for damage. But it means that if you take any hit, obviously that's immediate death, and if you step on the lava or the oil pit for even a second, you're dead. Now, personally, I like to have room to dodge, so I personally didn't do that, which makes the fight a little bit longer. So it's an assessment of risk and reward.
Correct. And I will say it does kind of suck sometimes, because even if you dodge an attack, and I'm sure people in chat have had this happen to them many times, during your roll, your physical character can be moved around by enemies and objects.
Yes.
So you could be in a roll and then just get redirected right into that fire pit, and Rotten says GG next time.
Through basically no fault of your own. You need to be very mindful of the attack that's coming, of the stamina that you have, of what exactly is around you. If you're if you're against the wall.
Oh God, that's so satisfying.
I'm sorry, dude. Who does that? Yeah.
Tight butthole right now.
Yeah. So yeah,
Easy did level up as well and get himself some extra iframes.
That's crazy. Okay, nice. But yeah, if you're against the wall, you could also be hit by the AoE attack. So, bit of a whiff there.
It's always weird when enemies start just walking around and not attacking or locking onto you.
Yeah, it's
because I find that's when they do weird stuff.
yeah. Often they have attacks that are queued up, and they are just their pathing is kind of broken, so they'll start a running attack, cancel it, and then immediately do it. And I'm sure you've seen that.
It looks like an attack with no wind up, and that usually results in a hit.
Exactly. So, we have Easy delving into the Medulla Rotunda again. Do you think they're going to go into the Huntsman Corpse already?
I do. I think they're going to go that route.
Right. So, I've noticed that Gino did kill Lycia.
Correct.
And did you notice that he skipped the animation by doing some weird roll? Or am I crazy?
I did not.
He did not kneel down.
I'm sure there's some way to take advantage of that.
Yeah. That's pretty nuts. And Gino actually does take the time to get the stone ring, which I don't know how people can live without. The stone ring being an item. Yeah, the stone ring being an item that allows you to stagger enemies more easily. And that doesn't seem like such a big deal until you realize that it also applies to your arrows. So with an arrow, you can shoot an enemy, and it's a constant stun lock.
Yeah, that was one of my strats to get rid of Forlorn, just to go for those forehead shots over and over again.
Now, they don't need to worry about that, but it still seems like a pretty safe item to have along with you, unless you
absolutely, really especially with the rapier, because that already does a bunch of poise damage, and so you're just maximizing it at that point.
Right. So, what is the idea behind killing one Rotten and then going away again?
I guess it's just to get some souls and stuff.
They get the aesthetic, they use it. They get the aesthetic, they use it. That's the idea. Instead of going
and they're not fully leveled up right now. So if they did all 4 Rottens right now, it would become tedious towards the 3rd and 4th fights. And so maybe they just don't want to deal with that, and they want to maximize their time. Because if they go around and do the other bosses first, get stronger, come back to Rotten, they'll end up saving more time than doing 4 Rottens in a row.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think that they probably have very, very solid reasoning behind this.
We're used to the old school methods. So Shilky and Matt are correcting us. They only do 2 Rottens to get the points, and they only have to beat each boss once. They don't have to do 4 Rottens to go to the second half of the game.
I see.
We're used to at 80%.
Yeah. No, I actually did 4 Rottens in my all bosses, believe it or not. So that's where I'm coming from. I noticed that for me, it was actually faster, as stupid as it sounds, to kill him an extra 3 times and then get to Drangleic Castle than to do all of the other bosses with save, slow strategies. But they seem to have
because you're in your OP at that point.
Yeah, exactly. But they seem to have found some in between obviously killing him just once, which is what's required, and killing him a whooping 4 times. So this must be a very, very calculated move from the 2 of them, where they get just enough souls to do what they need to.
Really trying to balance it out and not take too much time. Get some of the extra stuff without dedicating, 10 minutes to it.
Exactly. Makes sense, honestly, now that you think about it. So thank you very much, Chad, for correcting us. I think that Drunk and I did really pass on the opportunity to do more research. We could be a bit more informative, but I like to believe that it's just a little bit more fun to see us react coming from an old school point of view.
Exactly.
So, okay, I'm already loving what I'm seeing here, by the way.
With the Great Club?
Yeah, this Great Club was secured. It has a really nasty spell grab from Felkin, I believe. Yearn was also bought from Carillion, which I think will be used to distract the Skelly Lords.
I will say I think Yearn is a top tier choice or top tier decision because it's just so useful in DS2.
Oh no, Yearn must be disgusting. And I'm thinking Scholar, but in the original Dark Souls 2, it must be even better because the enemies were a bit simpler.
Yeah, because Yearn will work. Oh, nice one shot. Yearn will work on enemies that Alluring Skulls don't work on. For example, the headless mannequins.
Yeah.
and that will make the pathway to Mirror Knight much easier.
Okay, so basically we are getting rid of the more unpredictable, high mobility ones, and now it's one good cast of Yearn, and then probably just go nuts with the mace, I suppose.
I like it, and it will be interesting to see Gino's strat for this as well. His method. Oh, this is gonna be so nice.
Look at that! Oh my god. Okay, that is deeply satisfying. Not gonna lie. But yeah, you're right. Gino's gonna have a completely different approach to this, and I think it's gonna be just as interesting to see. So it's gonna be a few seconds of slow progress in the next area without much going on. Probably while the drawbridge is dropping, we're gonna have some items we consumed and whatnot. I love the little backstep from Gino to avoid any kind of like getting stuck.
I will see if we will.
Look at that! Look at that!
I am interested to see if we see any backstep dodges, like iframe backstep dodges.
I know
Mirror Knight, maybe.
Yeah, Mirror Knight can be good. I also know that it's actually quite efficient to backstep some of the Ivory King's attacks.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That being that one of the final bosses of the run, presumably, or at least one of the hardest,
so iffy.
I don't know if you would have that sort of mindset. But
it's fun to do it on Rotten's attacks, but you got to do it on the swipe attacks because those hitboxes go through you really fast compared to the lingering hitboxes.
I don't think I ever would. That sounds incredibly sketchy.
But so satisfying.
Yeah. Very, very true. Now, this area I think is significantly different. Gablin will be a source of 20 arrows. It actually doesn't make a difference whether you buy them now or before. And before was very dangerous. So if you buy them before, I think they're out of stock by now anyway. So I see why these were bought now as opposed to earlier. I am very, very surprised you can run through here without a hitch.
It's so interesting to see because you don't see many people running original DSU anymore.
Dark Souls 2 original as opposed to Scholar.
I would say 95% of the content is on Scholar.
So what does that say about these two runners? Are they just that crazy dedicated? Did they actually figure out that this was just the easier of the two? Either way, it's honestly just a lot easier. Even if you play a harder game that has all of these strats, I feel like that's a lot easier.
Just that DLC key just really makes the biggest difference in the world.
Right.
It was probably a lot of fun to learn new strats again.
I feel like for the average player, it's easier to just practice the bosses and then follow strats made up by someone else. But for players of this caliber who understand the strats so deeply, who are so good at coming up with their own, as we're gonna see on Gino's side, I feel like that's pretty crazy. All right, let's see what this bad boy can do.
Jabba the Hutt is down on Easy's side. It's now watching Gino go through his area with the Puzzling Stone Sword.
It's not quite a one-shot, but still consistent. And I guess the Stone Ring does play a part in this.
Wait. Without that Stone Ring... Whew.
Okay, and then I think we're going to see a Yearn.
Oh, it looks like he's going to do the same thing that Easy did, except instead of the Great Club.
It's kind of crazy how they only have one little spell and no room for mistake, if you think about it.
So Gino doesn't have all of them here, so he's trying to assess the situation.
Oh my god, that's so beautiful. But
beautiful.
Imagine if he miscast the spell, he would literally be out of luck. He would have maybe one Allurance Call left.
If he mistimed it.
Yeah, the room for mistake here in this runs, the way these two are running it, I think it's tiny. So props.
And I don't know if people realize, but there's so many things that can go wrong. If you do that R2 spin with a Puzzling Stone Sword a little too late, a little too early, or don't have the positioning right, hit. You know, it's crazy how specific things have to be. And you only get that knowledge after not like, let alone watching a guide, but experiencing it yourself. You could run something 50 times and the 51st time something crazy happens. You're like, they're not supposed to do that.
I couldn't have said that better myself. Yes.
And then you have to start planning for that 1% of the time.
Yeah. This game will surprise you. After doing hundreds of attempts, the thing that never happened before will indeed happen on the best run that you have had going yet. So
correct. And we do believe that Easy that it is possible for him to get under 3 hours, chat.
Yeah, I might have missed it, but we have a lot of things going on. Gino might have bought a certain speller item from Cloan, and on the right we have a really sketchy boss going on that Easy's dealing with right now, which is Maitha. Now, Maitha doesn't have a lot of HP, and honestly, it's only a few hits, but some of her attacks are just so mean.
Because to me, some of her attacks aren't 100% accurate to what you'd think the hitboxes are. And she has some slightly delayed stuff, which turn into elongated hitboxes.
Yes. She moves very, very fast. She has attacks that have similar wind up, so you can mix them up. And one thing that really bothers me about her is that she has one attack that hits you and roll catches you if you're too close. It's like a bit of a get off my back kind of attack. So it's not one of those bosses that you can just get super close and keep strafing right.
And that is one of those examples where rolling with an attack can be detrimental, especially if they catch you at the end. So you always want to roll through an attack or like straight through, like left through the attack or straight through instead of rolling with the attack. And that's just a rule of thumb for Souls in general.
Yeah, take it from us is difficult, even though what you just saw would make you think this boss is just a joke.
Watching this, it's like, oh, this is that easy. Oh, okay, and you try it yourself, and 100 hits later, you're at Maitha.
So, Gino will catch up soon after he's got another boss to beat, but it's a very non-eventful boss. He's gonna be able to do this no problem. I wonder if
doing a perfect strat for the NPC on Easy's side. If I remember correctly, you found this out, right?
Yeah, I think so. I had this idea. I think
it was during your big run.
Yeah, I had this idea. Funnily enough, thanks to PvP, because I remember at some point I used to hide here and turn myself into a pot, and then people would search. No, I wouldn't do anything. I would just hide with a mimic form or a talisman form, and people would just look for me for ages and then just quit. And I thought it was funny. So
Ots the troll back in the day.
In one of my runs off stream, I thought, well, what if I could do this? And it's actually
does this apply like in an actual run? And it did. And
it actually is extremely dangerous because if you miss input, you will literally drop immediately. Like you're hanging on that ledge by a thread. And talking about ledge, oh god, that's actual. That's also really crazy input.
That jump, for some reason, to me, is more consistent than some of the other scary ones. Yeah, I'm more comfortable with that jump than I am the jump on the way to Dragon Rider.
I don't think the jump is difficult. I think the pressure that you have doing it, especially if you get invaded by a forlorn in the scholar, I think the pressure there is immense. So that one scares me a lot. So we see a poison arrow being applied. And we're going to see another boss in just a few seconds from Easy. True to his promise, he is delivering one hell of a fast game.
And I do want to point something out. In Scholar, you light the windmill, and that gets rid of the poison in the Maitha fight, does it not?
Yeah.
It did not get rid of the poison in Easy's fight.
Wait, no, it did. It just removes the poison in the center, but there's poison on the edges.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. No, that works the exact same. It's still very nasty to have a difficult boss fight that gets on your nerves, and then she walks to the edge, and oops, now she's being healed. Like it is infuriating still, but yeah. So here are the dunk by strats, and I believe that after that, this boss is basically as good as that. He just needs to stall it out for a second.
Pretty much, and the issue with this boss is you can't get too close because his flame from inside his body will do tick damage to you, and that does count as a hit.
Yeah,
that's why they have to incorporate these range strats. Right, so a melee only run is difficult. Yeah,
very,
to say the least.
And they still just that's the spinning attack that will most certainly catch you.
That reminds me of Cinder's attack.
That I'm not so familiar with, but I'm sure
in Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a similar deal. It's very, very scary, and I know that's a very challenging boss fight, so I wouldn't be surprised. Here we have exactly the scenario we described earlier, where the boss is just passively gaining HP just by luckily staying on the poison. Not that it's going to matter very much, but I'm sure it is a bit stressful at least.
It adds an unnecessary time to the fight.
Mm-hmm. That seems like it's easy to dodge, but if you dodge the weapon attack, you'll be hit by the tail. So that was actually a really, really good move from Gino. And oh my god, we've
that's one of those where you want to roll away instead of rolling through.
Yeah. And while we were focusing on that, Easy just absolutely blasted through this area. Now I know than in the original Dark Souls 2. The Iron Keep is a little bit more manageable.
And with his Great Club, he's able to do just massive amounts of damage and stagger to the turtles.
Would it be a good time now that Gino's in the elevator to talk a little bit about damage types for those that are unfamiliar?
Oh yeah, take it away.
Okay, so in most Dark Souls games, we have different damage types. Dark Souls 3 dumped it down. There's like a standard damage that most weapons apply. But in Dark Souls 2, it's actually a huge deal. That was a close one. It is a pretty big deal. All weapons either do piercing, edged, or striking damage. And some enemies have very, very significant weaknesses and resistances against several. So here on the right, we see the strat of shooting against the ledge. As I said, this is an incredibly dangerous strat. If you do one input wrong or anything at all, you fall immediately to your death. Easy now dealing with the second major Lord boss soul. And, well, that was it.
Boom, easy peasy. They're doing a beautiful amount of damage right now.
Yeah. And much like in the first DLC, we're going to see a very, very easy transition. Oh, was that a misinput or am I crazy?
I was watching Gino. He was buying the gesture thighs.
I saw an alluring Sculpey toss, and I can't tell if this is some menu bug trick that I missed or what. But yeah, crazy stuff. And thanks to playing on the base Dark Souls 2 version, we immediately seamlessly transition into the second DLC. He might not tackle it right away, but just being able to unlock this saves a lot of time of going back and forth, collecting the keys to the DLC and whatnot. So it's lovely to see.
And for those that haven't picked up on it, on the left side, as you watch Gino kill these enemies, he does go for an easy first headshot, but instead of going for more headshots, which would be more damage, he goes for a body shot to make it more consistent. But that first headshot will stagger them, and then just 2 body shots. And with the stone ring and that bow, they're just staggered in place.
Yeah,
but if you miss one of those shots,
you don't want to use the janky aiming of Dark Souls 2. So he goes for the absolute right strat because it would probably result in the same amount of arrows anyway, right?
Exactly. Yeah, like you could maybe use one less arrow, but it's not worth it, especially if they do one of their weird like spin turns.
Aren't you happy that those chains were not greased up?
Oh yeah.
Instead of going for the normal checkpoint, it drops down using items and canceling the animation to heal faster. A yearn will be casted here because there's a lengthy lever opening animation, and that will get rid of all of the enemy's attention. And we're going to see Gino tackle... using poison knives. Nice. Tackle the Smelter Demon. Now, Gino tried for a very long time to figure out some kind of cheese to trick the AI of this demon to avoid the buffing.
Phase 2, right?
Yeah. I remember sitting in a stream for 3 hours trying to figure it out as well. And, I in a way, I was cheering for Gino, but I'm also glad that he found that it was impossible. Basically, this boss will buff no matter what. If you wait, he will buff. If you damage him, he will buff. And the only way to avoid it seems to hope for some random coincidences in his AI loop to happen. And if you do that, well, that might just prevent it. Crazy precise jump that we missed on the right side from...
Hopefully we see Gino do it.
Yep, we'll probably see.
Shoki, yes, we are. It's okay.
Easy is doing some incredible platforming tricks to speed up the second DLC. Meanwhile, Gino is using his throwing knives that he picked up on the first DLC to speed up this fight, which otherwise would be very, very dangerous to do from close up. Even though I've seen him try to do this with a normal rapier, it is ridiculously difficult. So... with a bit of poison applied and some extra damage from the odd arrow here and there, I think Gino's got this. And by the way, this is one of those fights where the environment is most certainly going to get you hit. Oh, God. Oh, he's not dead. He's hanging on. Where the environment will get you hit.
Cheeky.
Oh. And I love how when you beat the boss, the room lights up again, as if the boss was holding the fire hostage. And he's going to take the piggy shield, which is the most important item in the game. There you go. He didn't equip it. I guess he wants to keep it a challenge. Fair enough. This is a no piggy run %. Meanwhile, on the right, you see
interesting.
Easy already halfway through this second DLC, which is just ridiculous.
So most people would hit those flamethrowers and get rid of the barrel guys, but he's just running right past.
Right, Yearn does affect these incredibly dangerous sorcerers, and
another advantage of Yearn.
Hey, is this my strat? Oh, this is my strat. I love this. So if you have very silent approach to this, you can do this without him hearing you.
And that's why he shot the arrow to the left,
exactly, to fool him for a second. But it's still really, really scary because his shoulders they produce lava that can hit you. So you need to time it in such a way that you don't get hit by that while you're using the lever.
And luckily, he does turn back forwards. That way, you're able to get to that level without that armpit lava.
Yeah, it's somewhat consistent, but it doesn't make it any less scary. And we see the Jester Pants on the Cat Ring preventing all damage. And I think they will allow this incredibly dangerous drop. Look at how much damage was multiplied there to almost kill Easy.
Correct. So and they both do have the Cat Ring and the Jester Pants. So.
Yeah, no, they definitely know what they're doing. And Homeward will now allow you to teleport back, which would be impossible typically because there's an invader, right?
Correct.
But this spell completely ignores invaders, so that's why they...
As long as it's an NPC invader.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a real person invader, good luck.
Oh, I didn't even think of that, if I'm honest. But true, well, they shouldn't when playing offline. Honestly, Easy killed this boss so quickly. I actually really like the chance we have now to see a little bit better. And it seems like the RNG is very, very favorable here, doing one of those attacks that just basically allows you to just kill this boss in just a couple hits.
Kind of like a freebie.
Flurry of hits, yeah. Oh, I think that might be it. Oh, not quite.
More.
Just you can attack the arm here. Yeah. We take those. Okay, that's a bit of a shame.
So what he did there is he did run left to bait out the arm to go more on the left side of the arena, so that way he had more room on the right to be able to dodge it.
That kind of subtlety can be
little
really
things like that. You don't realize until you're doing it yourself.
Yeah. If you stay on just one of the corners, it's very likely that even though you feel safe, that attack would take the entire place that you're trying to be at. And if you try to dodge, you're literally going to dodge off the platform and die immediately.
And even in watching a guide on the runs or something like that, you might not pick up on that unless the broadcaster specifically says it. Same thing with like two-handing your left hand, like you wouldn't know why they're doing it until they told you.
Okay. I need to see. So this is a secondary area of the DLC that you have no business coming in. I know there are some upgraded materials here that are actually really, really good to have. So I'm guessing this must be for either the broadsword that's upgraded or the upgraded materials. I'm guessing
I believe it's going to be for the chunks, yeah.
Yeah, but okay. Well, this is new territory for me. On the left, we will see Gino speedrun the platforming section of this as well, which I'm really looking forward to because we kind of missed it a little bit when Easy did it. So
and for those that want to see Easy do it, you can always go back in the VOD or you can visit his channel at easy_WW.
Yep. Now, I don't think they are streaming live on their channels right now, but if you give them a follow, you'll catch them next time they're doing some crazy Mad Lad thing. And trust me, Dark Souls 2 all bosses no hit run in like less than 4 hours is crazy Mad Lad stuff. So Gino actually did take the minute to activate the bonfire, perhaps with good reason, instead of immediately take the plunge down here. But we're gonna see him do a very, very similar strategy, I believe. All right, Drunky, do you think it would be a good time to refresh the streams for the two of us so that we?
Correct. One of mine did the same thing.
Oh, okay.
So I just did pause and play.
It wasn't just me. But yeah, for real though, do follow these pioneers of pain. Oh my god, are you serious? That jump's not easy. Okay, it saves you a little bit of time, granted, but that is pretty crazy. Okay, the Titanite slap has been secured on the right side from Easy. And we're going to see Gino do the very, very crazy precise jump, I believe, that we missed earlier. So get a load of these You guys. Wait. What is he doing?
Shoki is thinking, or people in chat are saying he won't.
He won't do it. All right. Well,
But I don't know. He could always surprise us.
I think that if he's setting up a RTS strat, I think listen, it's what Gino's doing right now is what any sane person would. And Gino's not sane. Gino is insane. So, mind you, this is totally fine. But what Easy did was legit the speedrun way to do this, which might save him overall maybe a minute worth of time, about a minute, 90 seconds perhaps tops. What would you estimate? What Gino's doing here is going to take him maybe an extra minute to catch up if everything else was the same.
Correct. Yeah, I agree with that one.
But yeah, that's the kind of thing that just
that was a perfect urn as well.
Apart. Yeah, that was beautiful. Notice that he drops as the spell is ending, so he can be on his way just a little bit faster. Oh, and we're gonna see on the right side, Easy go against one of my favorite bosses in this game, and probably absolutely demolish them. No need for a red tearstone, so he's gonna switch to the Leo ring for that sweet counter damage, and you have a lot of counter damage in this. I feel. Look at that.
3 heavies and they're done.
Oh my, are you serious? Wow. And that's not even hitting one of their weaknesses, by the way, which is crazy. It doesn't hit their lightning, it doesn't hit their blunt damage weakness, but it doesn't matter. Too strong.
And I'm assuming he doesn't do, because I know I learned this from you, for the Rune Sentinels, you can stand at the top of that platform right at the edge and they'll jump over you for free. That's for sure. So, there is a strategy here that would with this level of damage would basically guarantee that you win this easy. Correct, but he jumped down, I think, for a time save. Yeah, exactly. So why would you spend 15 extra seconds doing that when you can just go down there, meet them hit them 3 times? Okay. No, I still think that it is remarkable, and they deserve full credit for the insanely consistent run so far. Let me tell you right now, you see a big fat 0 next to their names, both of them. That's not an O. That's not 0 hugs. That's 0 hits. They have been playing at this level completely consistently, beaten, about 10 bosses now? We're about almost an hour into the run at this point. So basically, Gino. Okay. This might be. No. Okay. This is kind of scary. He's gonna need to do that and dodge whatever attack comes his way. No way he wings it. Get it. Oh, he's winging it. Watch out, he can get you. All right, dude. All right. It takes dedication, time, and practice to know a strat. It takes some big. It takes so much time and energy to know a strat, but it takes so much even more to know how to recover from a failed strat. And Jesus, gotta hand it to him. He recovered from that beautifully, assessing quickly that he needed to use the cooldown of one enemy to cast a spell to prevent it from harassing him, while the other was recovering from yet another attack. It's an insane amount of situational awareness. Incredible stuff. Never seen this. Did you see him? Yeah. So he did an attack punch on the ladder. He punched the ladder to make noise, right? I have never seen this. To draw him close, and then that dark fog. So the strategies that I did, I don't know about you, Drunky. We tried to basically use an infrared reader through that ceiling and try to poison them one by one. Correct. But by hitting the top of the ladder with a punch, which some people might not even realize is a thing you can do, they actually all gather up at the top. Well, that's just brilliant. And we're going to see Gino do Matlad strat after Matlad strat here. Skipping a bit of waiting time there. All of that really adds up. And this part is scary, by the way. This part is really scary. Let's see how he handles it. I see. So he'll grab a key that is basically necessary, and I'm guessing this is a teleport back? No, why would he? Just run back. Chunk. Yeah, and get I'm surprised he doesn't take a minute to just pee on the corner there while he's chased by these iron behemoths. But sure, I guess this is a little bit safer. He could have teleported at the end, but then he would have missed out on the chunk. And I think after that stressful event a few minutes ago, he needed a guaranteed breather. Gino, dude, if you just want to take a break, we'll rub your feet, we'll
we'll give you some.
I got the canola
cookies,
oil,
dude. Yeah, I'm so sorry, dude. That probably shaved years off my lives, man. Just watching.
And a lot
that.
of people in that type of situation, even experienced runners, could have a tendency. I know myself, I can have a tendency to kind of stress or freak out and make rash decisions instead of, or a lot of people will start panic rolling.
Go all or nothing, and suddenly.
Correct. The amount of times that I've seen people get hit with a panic roll.
Okay, I need to just go back and reset and be in my comfort zone again. But no, he assessed the situation. I think going back there with the fire, cutting you off could be, and another caster back there would be a mistake. So he absolutely made the best situation in a very difficult scenario. And what is up with these gargoyles? And why are they dying so quickly?
In Folgers and chat, you're absolutely right. The strats on both ends, they have a lot of similar stuff, but they do have their own specific instances, and they're just nailing it. It's definitely a lot of dedicated hours and time in this game.
Right. So, Drunky, just tell me what the hell happened to these gargoyles? They all kicked the bucket.
I blinked and they were gone. I don't know.
That's insane. I went through so much trouble to grab a weapon specifically just to kill them quickly.
It's like killing the 4 kings and 1 king. What the hell?
And I've seen Gino poison them and do it slowly. Okay, I get you. I'm sorry, but to get this close to an enemy that unpredictable, knowing that one little misstep can mean that you now have to deal with multiple at a time, I think that's nuts. And bears some remark. Damn. So we're gonna see Gino buy some very expensive items here to use later. It's kind of crazy how he used one early on, and I still do not understand why he used it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back in the VOD as well to check.
Could it be that
I'm very interested.
Could it be that he needed it to kill the
Titanite lizard?
The one Titanite lizard found in the pit? Because
he might have. Go ahead.
If you use a bright bug to kill a Titanite lizard, you are next level.
He really wanted that Dark Knight stone. Yeah, Jesus. And the chunks from it.
You might have realized Gino has an uninfused weapon, presumably because he still has yet to meet Maitha. Whereas Orphan Easy does have it infused. So I'm guessing that this will be another point where their runs now converge.
Already had it infused and already killed Rune Sentinels.
Mm-hmm. Okay, similar strat there.
He missed the firebomb on the dog. Any dog in Dark Souls is traumatizing for those that don't know. From the teleporting dogs in Dark Souls 3 to the jankiness in Dark Souls 2.
Okay. That's another mishit. No matter. Enough stamina.
He had to spam those attacks because if he didn't, the enemy was going to blow up that fireball. Right. And he would have had to restart the area all over. So that's why he just full sent.
And on the right, easy to miss. We saw Easy drop from a moving elevator at like 30 miles an hour, dropping at the perfect spot to set up the red tearstone. Where if he did it 1 second earlier, he would be dead. And if he did it 1 second too late, he would not get the.
It's so nice to have one drop spots for RTSR.
But he did it in a moving elevator. It makes no sense.
Are we seeing 2 machines? A machine and a cyborg right now?
Yeah, I think so. I think this is just what are we doing? TAS? It's like tool assisted speedrun.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that looked like a follow-up. That looked really scary. This boss can honestly be killed quite early. And for a normal playthrough with a bit of a shield, it's not that big of a deal, but it's a very aggressive boss with very large and lingering hitboxes. So it's always a little bit scary.
And it's also scary to go against Sinner without a good amount of iframes, because if you're rolling right through that first attack, you're rolling with the weapon, you might
have noticed that he did not dodge the first attack, but instead sidestepped it.
Mm-hmm. It's very similar. You can roll with that hitbox and just get hit at the end of your iframes.
Oh God, I'm sorry, but that's not for the faint of heart. So I'm guessing Gino has sent himself back to have the best possible shot here at running through this without any problems. Oh, I love
these speedrun strats. Both of these guys know it. Attacking the rapier off an edge, that way you don't have to roll and you land in the perfect spot. Yeah. Just like using items as you're walking off an edge to cancel the animation.
Yeah. It must take quite a lot of mental fortitude to keep remembering to do all of these on top of keeping tabs on your level of the items you collected, what you need to do next. And we're going to see a way
for those that don't know, on the right, Roy the Explorer has invisible hand crossbows. Mm-hmm. So it makes it even more difficult to dodge his attacks. And then we have Gino on the left doing the copyrighted Och strat.
Right. Well, I mean, to be fair, this is very common sense. And I love how Soul Appease was bought from Cloan, because that spell is literally made for this boss fight. It's so good.
Just beautiful.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was actually so
it seems like Easy is taking advantage of a lot of little things that you picked up in your run, but he's doing it in a way that just cuts down so much somehow.
Yeah, no, like the thing I think that strikes me the most as surprising is the way they handle the path they take and the routing they do. Instead of going to one area to pick up one item and then going to another area and then pick up an item here and going to an easy boss, then a little harder boss, they're actually doing it in the most optimized way possible, pretty much, and doing hard bosses and doing them consistently just
to streamline it.
Yeah, exactly. And they can only get away with this because they are very consistent.
A lot of people, including myself, you'll see our first or second split of a no-hit run be called setup. Where we go around, grab this, go grab that, and then we start killing stuff because we feel like we're OP at that point. So instead of doing that, like we just mentioned, they're just running through an area, grab the item, run through the next area, grab that item.
Right. And it is mentally, it is draining because it takes longer, but it also gives you this little bit of respite of like, okay, this is the part where I can get hit. Let's turn my brain on now. This is the part where I just pick up items. Let's just do a few quests here and there. In these runs, I believe your brain must be engaged fully at all times because they're not catching a break. Everything they do has purpose. Every route they take pretty much is eventful and has some kind of danger. And honestly,
so what Gino on the left here did is he did, once again, the sound strat, hit used his rapier to hit the railing to draw out the bellkeeper. Mm-hmm. Let's see if Gino does the ladder strat as well here.
I think Gino is a genius when it comes to creating his own strats, but he also learns from others, I think, very, very fast. So I would be surprised not to see it.
Yep.
That's so brilliant. That is just, I'm sorry, but...
Oh, that's fantastic.
I love that.
And when you think about it, it definitely makes sense.
It is so smart.
You just wouldn't think like, a ladder? Really?
Yeah. Now, how stupid do you feel watching this and thinking, I could have come up with that myself?
Not only that, but just like, how did I not realize that?
Yeah. How many ones do you lose? Do you lose to those little monsters up there?
Oh yeah, that and like things that are so easily avoidable now that we struggled with for hours and hours and hours. Yeah. But I mean, that's how the evolution of the Souls has worked,
Yeah, and it's a nice thing to think that it's a collective thing where you put a little bit of sand in the castle and everybody else is built on top of it. And it does feel pretty good to see.
Like the Najka strat that I came up with, where you get her stuck between the tree and the bush, and for my consumables run, and just throwing knives and bombs at her. And then I see other people doing it for like their spell runs and stuff. I'm like, that's so cool.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so what's going on with Gino? I think he was struggling to cast it because he had the wrong item on. And one thing that perhaps is worth mentioning, in this game, you can use binoculars to precisely aim your spells, which is really cool.
And which is nice, you can use it to aim your throwing knives as well. Not while you're scoped in, but you can use it to aim up and left and right and stuff.
Right. They're not very precise, but it does let you.
The throwing knives can, it takes a bit, but they can be precise. The firebombs, though, they only have 3 distances that they throw, so you can't be as precise with that.
The arc is like low, short, and a little bit longer, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. And Notchka's down.
Yeah, Notchka, I believe it's a bit of a tough boss that can do a couple nasty things, but depending on the AI... But at this
point, they're so strong.
Yeah, or how quickly you can take her on, I think it's basically a breeze, so we expected nothing less there.
Because I would consider her an earlier game boss.
Okay, now we have the Gargoyles on Gino's side, and I'm very interested in seeing how he deals with this. It seems like the strategy is to bait a certain attack,
Oh, I thought he was going for a second follow-up attack for some reason. I got scared.
Yeah. Oh, okay, so this might be just honestly more consistent than I realize. Wait. Now.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah. See, that's the kind of stuff that's just not so easy.
Now I know what you're talking about.
Okay. You don't do as much damage while they are waking up, I believe, but that's okay. Like, he's got a good pace. So, yeah, this is the kind of attack that if you have multiple of them going on, it's actually really scary. But honestly, they make it look so easy.
Also, where easy is going through, it's a little easier because in Scholar, there's that giant elephant enemy and the invader here.
Right.
That you have to take out.
Yeah, they would need to join. I mean, they joined the Covenant back when they killed the other boss, so everything here should be non-aggroed, right?
Oh, true, yeah.
Yeah, that shouldn't be an issue. This would be difficult. This would be really difficult if you hadn't killed the rat boss. Every enemy here, as far as I'm concerned, would basically be trying to kill you. But if you join the Covenant, you're already their bro, and they ignore you, and you're one of them, and you can make it no problem to this bonfire.
And if we can take just a second here, Dino, so sorry to hear about your run. Dino was, he got hit on his 5th game.
No, not the 5th.
Yes, but thank you for the raid, the host, the love. It's very kind of you. Thank you for sending your wonderful community over our way. Everybody, please check out Dino, another mad lad, going for one of the most craziest runs ever.
Has kept a name for himself. He is super lovely, and so is his community and everyone in his circles. So I'm very, very happy to have him and his friends over here. Welcome in, everybody. If you just joined us,
Six Sif is now dead.
Yep. Bye, puppy. If you just joined us, maybe we could do a little recap of what's happening and what's going on.
Chad is saying that the game glitched for Dino.
Oh, what? Really?
We've all had that happen, and for it to happen on the 5th game.
Dude.
Sorry to hear that, brother. Because it. So in no hits in general, if it's something that you can control and you got hit, it's like, okay, I can fix this.
Yeah, you can mentally recover from that.
But when you don't even have a chance, and the game's just like, nah, not today. It's just you feel just empty.
Yeah. Oh god,
it's like getting sideswiped when you have a green light.
You work so hard to be consistent, and then something's out of your control. That being said, Dino would have not achieved the things he has achieved if he was a normal person that just gives up at the first sight of inconvenience or challenge. So we expect him to be in top-notch form and impress us all again very, very soon.
He says that he got yeeted off a cliff by a candle, but they didn't inform us that they were able to reproduce the glitch to avoid it in the future. So that's a good outcome.
Okay, all right. So do be careful with candles and cliffs. Understood.
If you can find consistency in the area.
Yeah, Gino will be tackling on the Lost Sinner. Who do you think at this point everybody knows that the Lost Sinner is actually a female character?
I would hope so.
Yeah. If you play on a version of the game that has gender names like the Spanish one, it's very easy to tell. But on the English version, you might miss the fact that this is actually a woman.
Oh.
If you don't read the description. And okay, dude, like Gino basically, I think the boss moved more and dodged more than he did.
Yeah, I think the boss is trying to dodge him.
Yeah. Jesus.
And then Easy just ran through this area, didn't even use Yearn as much as he could have in order to save some speed.
And a solar piece. And a solar piece here is going to be devastating, isn't it?
Oh, it's going to be satisfying. So he's not going for the greed hit, which is very smart.
No. Wait.
Little greed, but that was
okay. That was calculated greed. Bam. I've always wondered what the hitbox on this attack is precisely, because as you can see, it sometimes fails to hit some enemies.
On Solapes?
Yeah. Do you have an idea of how it works? I wonder.
I feel like it's the same kind of hitbox as Dark Fog.
Right. But it does hit around you, and I believe you might need line of sight or something.
Oh, that could be true.
I'm not very sure. I would honestly, if we have some cheat engine wizards that could figure it out, I would actually really, really like to see it. Perhaps one of them could show us behind the scenes how exactly the hitbox behind the spell works. I would be very, very interested. It really piques my curiosity. On the left, we're going to have Gino, who has now a very, very cute fashion going on. Dealing with the invisible weapon invader yet again. And it looks like with
interesting.
Oh, okay. A different way to approach.
Looks like he's gonna draw him out instead of trying to run past him.
Yeah, I think so. Now, do remember, I think Gino is the one of out of the two, the only person with the stone ring.
Correct,
right?
but he is using the longbow, which it's hard to get it doesn't fire fast enough to get the consistent headlock like the short bow does, but it still works if you have some
I
an
would lie
object
if
to hide behind.
I would lie if I told you that I know exactly what's going on through his mind right now, but he did pull that off just fine, even if it took like an extra second. Still
Have easy on the right side, heading right to Freya. Beautiful.
Right.
So we got another double boss fight happening.
Right. And I definitely know which one's going to be faster. So Gino's most likely going to try to centralize these rats and hit them with
more soul piece. Beautiful.
Big spell. He also has a particular piece of garment that increases the amount of spells he can cast, which I don't think Easy has because he did not kill the NPC that drops it. Either way, beautifully.
A lot of damage on Freya there.
What?
Both fights. Who did you think was going to beat that?
All right, dude.
It is crazy though, because with Freya, she can do a lot of moves that just mess with you. Like she doesn't give you a chance to attack.
Having my Twitch player at 1.5 speed. What the hell was that? I blinked for 2 seconds and she was already dead. Okay. And we do have an enemy here that doesn't appear in the vanilla version of the game. Is it any problem? No. Okay, it really is not any problem, I guess. Oh my god, he was sent flying. Okay, so this is the DLC added Aldia encounter.
And just so no confusion, this is not a hit. Everybody spam hit.
Yeah, basically, unless you try really, really hard to go any percent, if you need to do all bosses, you most certainly cannot skip this encounter.
We kind of like a scripted event, just like Seath in Dark Souls 1.
Yeah,
the Seath death.
You also trigger it yourself. It's not like you can dodge it. So there is consensus that does not count as it, and I don't think there's any way to avoid it.
And Ainrun in chat. Vengrel's body and Scholar is right after Tark.
Yeah, it's in fact, if you look at Gino on his screen right now, he's very close to it. To his left, past that little bridge, to his left right now, is an area that is hidden behind some statues. You would find it there.
Yeah, Man Scorpion Tark, the male version, or Najka's other half, or friend.
Right. Oh, it's so fun to see this area without the invisible enemies. Meanwhile, Easy's going to be grabbing the feline boots, which are a bit of an upgrade for the anti-gravity damage, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm wondering if it's worth it, though. Like, maybe there's some jump he does where he absolutely needs the cat ring. Plus,
I wouldn't expect Easy, who must have some hell of a priority schedule, to spend a minute grabbing them.
So it makes me think that it has to, like, it's a must.
Yeah, there might just be some run. There might just be some segment where he needs both of them to survive, or perhaps he wants to streamline the rest of the run, and he doesn't ever want to use the cat ring again, and maybe it saves time to just have those pants and not have to worry about the cat ring because they basically replace the cat ring.
True.
Could that be it?
I think that's a possibility. Absolutely.
Wow.
So Gino going into Najka, he's most out gonna melt her, and Easy on his way to Dranglet Castle.
Okay, so should we ask our runners to do a triple spin, wave to the camera, point down to prove that this is not scripted? Because I'm starting to doubt it myself. Honestly.
I feel like this is pre-recorded.
Yeah. In fact, there's no point down gesture on Dark Souls 2, so that was a trick one. But yeah, Najka was absolutely melted. I feel like the weapons they bring actually are very good against every boss. Like the whole Dark Confusion is not something I would have realized myself. And here on the right, we see the final DLC being open. This would take a little bit of extra time to get to and from, but it's going to be very, very nice because once it's unlocked here, the players can teleport to it later. So it's going to be yet another instance where having the key saves you a little bit of time and makes this run a little bit faster, which is just such a joy to watch, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Notice that Gino also joined the Rat Covenant. You can tell that the next to their health, there's a little icon with two like fangs, like rat little fangs, and that signifies that they've joined the Covenant, so they're not going to be bothered by the many enemies that lurk in this area.
And so Easy did come over here and light that first bonfire, and now he's heading right back.
Yeah, right back. And he will continue on. And this is, it's such a convenient thing, right?
This way he saves some more time once again.
Yeah.
Doing the jump for RTSR.
Oh.
He might have the cat ring on. Oh, he doesn't. Oh, that jump takes, I think, 2, yeah.
Yeah, so what's the deal? It was just to make it faster. I guess he'll use the poison moss in a couple seconds.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
And instead of having to do that, I guess it's just kind of faster. Okay. Making us look weak over here. And, okay, Puppy Sieve coming up. Let's see how Gino handles it. There are 4 enemies that you sort of need to get rid of before the big one comes along. And I think this boss is quite easy if you take it from a distance, but I always found it really scary.
His attacks look janky, but they're oddly consistent.
I still find it scary, if I'm honest. But don't take it from me, take it from Gino, who just made this boss look like a tutorial boss in a little family game. Okay.
2 pump jump.
Kind of crazy to think that we are a little over an hour into this run, and Drangleic Castle, which is basically the midway point of the game, is already achieved. And
now Gino has about just over 200 poison arrows that he'll be able to use through Drangleic Castle since they talked to Gavlon in all 3 areas.
Right. Of course,
which will be helpful on the elephants that Easy are working on, as well as for the Throne Watcher Defender fight. If they choose to go that route.
You know that if they poison an enemy and take the time to kill it, that must be a really, really difficult enemy to get past, because otherwise they probably wouldn't bother.
Absolutely. Those elephants are high risk.
That being said, what do you think is going to be the main sponge for poison arrows in this run? Is it going to be perhaps the shrine? What is it called?
Shrine of Amana?
The Shrine of Amana?
Honestly, I think
they have strats to run through it pretty fast these days, don't they?
Yeah, it's definitely strats that me and you would sweat over.
Do we see the strat of shooting down on the Gino side, or no?
No, we used to do that. You can even do it with I've done it with fire bombs on a consumable run. Yeah, you just look. You can use the binoculars, look down, and you'll hit the bottom leftmost guy, and then they'll all start running in the spike. The reason you do that, Chet,
that's a bit of an advanced one. Yeah, please explain it for us.
Yeah, the reason you would do that is all those Seldora guys will start walking on the spikes and end up killing themselves by the time that you make it down there. So if you're trying to, not have to use urine or skulls in that area, that's a nice way to circumvent that.
Right. So basically, you're going to kill a boss, you're going to rest, you're going to pick up a lot of items, but then when you go through the next area, you could have already killed the enemies beforehand. It's just kind of funny to think about. We're going to see
Solopies here again.
All right. I think that was a beautiful start.
So 1 shot, 2 shot. What? He's doing a lot more damage than Easy was here. Because Easy had a 3 shot that second caster.
Look at that. You see how that hits behind him even?
Yeah.
It's quite nuts, isn't it? And I think another Solopiece coming up. No, he won't bother. Maybe Solopiece doesn't hit the fellas on the ground. Either way. Wow.
Also, if you look on Easy side, he killed the he did kill the left one first. The left one does not have a shield.
Right.
The enemies with shields actually have more health than the ones without shields. So it's always suggested to kill the one on the left first. That way it takes, 2
because
hits
you just have a little bit extra time, right? While they
correct, yeah. Because in the traditional 90%,
if you did it the other way around, the shield one would maybe be able to poke you. And these enemies are really scary, by the way. I hate them.
Yeah,
they have like
some
6
quick
meter
attacks.
long. Yeah.
But if you kill the one on the right, sometimes you don't have enough stamina to finish them off, and then you have to run back and all that. So a really consistent way to do it is just kill the one without the shield on the left.
Right. So as you pointed out here, Yearn is a thing. So I think we're just going to see it be used. Okay, one thing that really bothers me: spiders in this game are not scared.
Also, I forgot in.
Oh my god, you're
vanilla.
right. That room has spikes. I mean, dart traps.
It has the dart traps that always go off, compared to in Scholar, it only goes off when you open up the chest, and they won't even hit you if you don't move.
Okay, and
Gino was in a very sensitive spot right there as well.
Drunky, please tell me, why did Gino kill this enemy when those enemies can hit you when they die.
I think he was just in a position where he had to get up that ladder, and with the invader there, it was more risky to run around with the spiders and everything because he didn't have a torch, and so he could be running out of urine.
Could it be that he understands how the hitbox works and he can get away with it?
Maybe. I think that's one of those 1% chances, though, where the enemy has a stored up attack.
Okay, so we have multiple bosses going on, and I'm not even going to try to bet on which one's going to go off first, but it looks like Gino just deals with the spiders. He knows that this boss is an opening attack that typically is quite lengthy. He knows that there's one spider left. I guess he chooses to deal with it. Now, these spiders will absolutely respawn. And fighting this boss head on like this, I would never do this. But hey, Gino is a different...
He is playing it safer than I would expect him to.
Yeah, he is. And then again, it is a long shot away from what you or I would do in Scholar, which is to just keep the little torch. Wow,
easy.
They figured out that during this tantrum attack, staying in the middle is safe. That's pretty
interesting.
Nice. Yeah. Did you ever see that before?
Mm-mm.
Can't say I have. Well, that's nuts. Okay, so this is one of the few parts of the game that I would say it's easier in the base game, maybe.
Well, if they already have Yearn, I will agree with you. But if you have Yearn, you can just use that and get rid of the mannequins.
Yeah, true. I thought no Yearn. Yeah, with Yearn, you're right. It should be easy. So
that's one of the reasons that sorcery only is probably like the easier magic only run.
So they did grab the All Night Hammer, which is an item I would have used for the Gargoyles. I wonder what they'll use it for. And we can see that whereas Easy just came up to this guy and just melted him, Gino's actually taken a bit more of a precaution. And to think that Gino's being slower than someone else it's just something that is quite baffling to just think
exactly about. I'm thinking Easy's just like a hidden gem, a secret weapon. There's a reason that he hasn't posted his videos everywhere, because he's trying to make the competition underestimate him.
Yeah, actually, Chad reminded me of my own run right now. Yeah, in the valley of the desolate snow veil. We're not gonna say the official name. Those little reindeer horses. Yeah. You definitely want the weapon for
Horse
that.
Crap Valley.
Mm-hmm.
This is insane. We are an hour and a half into the run, 0 hits. Yeah. I don't want to curse it. I don't think I can. I feel like I'm the most cursed one in tournaments. So
no. Don't worry.
I don't think I can affect anyone else.
These guys are curse proof. I believe. And that's funny considering the game we're playing. Notice the very precise stamina level up here, probably with other things kept in mind. I'd love to have more insight on that.
If there's a hit, it's going to be because of Otz. All right, chat? You heard it here first.
Oh, no. If there's a hit, there will be some big BS, and it will mean nothing. Because if you can do this consistently this fast, I'm very sorry, but you do this in a week and you get this run 4 times.
I think it's going to be, if there is a hit, I don't want to talk about hits for too much longer, but if there is going to be a hit, I guarantee it's going to be something stupid. It's going to be like a really sketchy strat, or it's going to be a glitchy kind of moment, something like that, compared to a legitimate traditional hit.
Yeah. Now, I'm not as familiar with Easy, but I know Gino, like, his brain is just wired for these kind of runs. The way he handles everything, and the way he understands bosses, and the way he understands how to deal with each attack and optimizes everything is just kind of crazy.
Easy doing the consistent run underneath him buff.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the spacing. You do spacing on this, Odds.
It's not difficult. It's not difficult. You do get a feeling.
I'd rather backstep.
Yeah, no, that's also totally fine. Although, sketchy as well. I think that you get a feeling pretty good whether or not you're too late and you can get away with it. If you start to move and strafe too late, you're going to get hit. So it's something that's rather intuitive. And sometimes in this game, there are things that are intuitive and there are other things that are not. For example, I remember Maitha has a tail attack that looks like it's going to hit you in a second, and it just comes immediately. and you need to dodge it. It's a very non-intuitive timing, and that one stands out. Whereas
a very small window of notice.
Yeah. So I feel like that one is maybe one of the few things. Oh, there's the one.
Yeah, there's the one jump. Okay, so it was possible. We were just confused.
Right.
Because I always thought I could get a one jump there.
Oh, look at that. Oh, beautiful. Another beautiful RTS setup. And yeah, this might be one of the few things that honestly is a little bit, or is as easy as it looks, basically. But almost everything else, honestly, quite hard. So it looks like Easy's just making sure he's not being followed by any of the enemies here. Gino opting to run through. And
if he had the stone ring, he would have staggered this guy with the majority of those shots.
Yeah, I don't think he cares though. Like, it's definitely a calculated decision not to pick it up.
Oh, absolutely,
even though it would take.
Is he just going to run past these fools?
No.
All right, and
what?
How are they not?
What are they asleep?
Are they blind?
Does this only work at night? What? Okay. That has to be an OG vanilla thing, right?
And notice how he two-handed his bow in his left hand, which does count as two-handing. Two-handing anything in your left hand will let you, like we talked about earlier. It skips your hand putting something in your back pocket and then doing the animation.
Okay, dude. Okay. What the hell?
He's going melee through here.
This is just baffling.
Is Amana easier with your with original compared to Scholar?
What I remember about Amana is
it looks like there's a lot less. There's half the amount of casters right now.
Yeah, no, it is a little bit easier. What I remember about Amana is that when it was originally released, it was much harder, remember? And they patched it.
Yes. Also, if you look on the left side here, Gino, he's not killing that guy right away because he has to get him close to the door or close to that little bowl in order for it to soak up his soul.
You know what really, really concerned me there? Do you remember what happens when you try to shoot against an enemy and you're too close to a wall behind you?
Yes, same thing when throwing firebombs and spells. Yeah, your attacks actually don't start at your character model. They start like between your character model and your camera.
Yes.
And so you can throw a throwing knife if your back is against a wall. You throw a throwing knife and you hear ping behind you. I'm like, what? And I've gotten hit too many times.
I've also hit enemies that were about to backstab me thanks to that.
I blew one up with a firebomb before, and I was like, oh, hey.
Hey, thanks, calculated. Yeah,
I was like, the one time a glitch works in your favor.
Yeah. So obviously Gino with his open third eye, he's totally fine. He probably is aware that he was in a good position, but it still scared me. And I believe he'll be spending some time buying extra arrows. I don't think Easy bothered, by the way. He could have spent 10 seconds buying a bunch of really valuable arrows, and I think he didn't bother, but I could be wrong. Scary.
Interesting.
Segment.
And you can just walk behind him.
What? Okay.
No way this is possible on Scholar.
No, this is I don't think this is possible on Scholar.
This is definitely an advantage.
And if it is, I don't want to hear it. Don't DM me saying, I didn't Scholar. I don't want to know about it, dude.
I did in Scholar, but didn't record it.
Drunkard and I have spent more hours in this godforsaken swamp than we have with our parents, probably. Like
with our partner, probably at this point.
Yeah, we do not want to hear how much easier it would have been if we were just a little bit smarter. All right, so we're just gonna assume that they just lucked out, or this is some exclusive vanilla strat. Thank you very much. It would be nice to have a boss counter for the runners. Oh, that would have been a nice detail. However, Drunky has a mathematical count of the bosses, and he can tell you exactly how many bosses are left, right, Drunky?
So Gino has more than 2, and Easy has more than 1.
There you go.
So getting close to it with about an hour left.
My calculations are, they come from a different angle, but they do project similar results. I think you're right.
So watch this on the left here with Gino. This room, Gary.
So basically he's got a caster that's... Wait, why did he return? Does he return in
No.
vanilla?
On the right side with Easy, he only disappears when you go through the fog wall.
He did say that he returned to his world. That was a bit
correct.
Interesting.
So we get Demon of Song, which also has another name, which we won't say right now. Chat already knows.
Other than one sketchy attack, I think this boss is relatively
clean. Simple. He barely got that.
Yeah,
but
Jesus, that was like a speedrun 1 cycle, basically.
And Demon of Song, what you just saw, it looked easy, but he has some instant charges that have a quarter of a second or half a second of a notice before, and I've been able to dodge it before, but it's not.
Yeah, it's one of those attacks that is so dangerous that the fight is a constant back and forth of you trying to predict when it might happen so that you don't eat it.
Correct. And on the left side, we have Gino using the bow in his left hand to shoot down the one Dragon Rider, so he drops. Yeah. And then our original strat that we found when I was doing this against Hob is bring over one of them and he breaks the platform that the second one is on. And then someone else found the strat that it was better just to shoot him down and then spam him.
Right. Honestly, seeing them do this, it looks very consistent and very safe. But this is a boss where, especially in tournaments, people mess up quite a bit.
Beautiful RTSR setup. I love that one on the right.
Right. And I think we'll have another
reset
explosion. Yep. Okay.
We did get some feedback in chat earlier saying that there was positive opinions about the commentary. So if you guys are liking the commentary, let us know if we're talking too much or not focusing on one person enough. Please let us know. And if we ever miss anything, be sure to point it out in chat.
Yes, I think it's perhaps worth repeating. Drunky and I are very familiar with this game. We have run it. We're some of the earlier challenge runners for Dark Souls 2, back when not that many people were interested. But we have purposefully been kept away from these more modern, insane runs so that we can react to whatever crazy thing is happening and try to make sense out of what's going on as we go.
Correct.
But oftentimes we will be a little bit in the dark about what precisely is happening. So if you have information and you let us know, I think it will be fun for us to piece it together. But do give us hints. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, it is making it a lot of fun for both of us to commentate because we're seeing stuff we haven't seen before, and it's we're going through this with you guys, Chad. This is awesome.
Mm-hmm. So
thank you for the positive feedback, Chad.
Oh, we love you. Thank you so much.
You're so nice.
So on the left, we're gonna have just a lengthy elevator ride. On the right, it seems like, I see now, Easy did not grab one of the powerful elemental arrows from the castle, but he did stock up on... Sorry, he did stock up on dark... on dark arrows. I'm sorry. I know that in his mind, that was no problem, but as someone that's not holding the controller, that looks sketchy AF. So,
absolutely.
That probably was completely calculated, but those enemies with the Cyan halberds, they reach really far. And it's not difficult at all to get hit there. So, as I said, very, very sketchy.
True. And a Kuber in chat. So the website does list 5 on the right side. Easy. He has completed it as well. But it's unlisted. He hasn't turned it in yet. And so we don't know if there's even more than that. I would say less than 10, though, guaranteed.
What, for all bosses hit runners? Yeah, most likely.
This is not really, for the faint of heart.
Yeah, is not. It's not a very rewarding category to run in some ways. But I can see how in the original game you actually have less of back and forth, and this is actually so fun to watch. So I hope it does encourage more people to try it out.
Yeah, because exactly. So seeing these streamlined strats and everything and routes and pathing, I think will open it up. Ooh, on the right side, Easy. We'll open it up to more people thinking that, like, you know what, maybe I can do this.
Yeah.
Compared to
that's how it is for every no-hit run. First, it's impossible. Then it's unlikely. Then it's consistent, and then more and more people do it. Right. So we have two of the most kick-ass bosses going on, and both of them have very, very sketchy hitboxes, dragon attacks. But they're expertly handled, and we see more of the
Look at these no rolls.
Yeah.
So nice.
My lord. Oh, he got melted from Gino.
God.
And after the stamina comes back to Easy, he also didn't even let him hit stage 2. That's so rude. And I thought this boss resisted dark, dude. What the hell?
I also remember in our head-to-head race, I was backstabbing Mirror Knight, and you were parrying Velstadt. I was backstabbing Mirror Knight.
Oh, that's so fun, dude.
So I'm glad to see that they're just.
But
being safe and not dumb.
Gino and Easy can one up us in such ridiculous ways. Child's play, honestly, and it is both humbling and also very satisfying to watch. Seriously, so. I couldn't be happier to be here casting this with you.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a while since McDarva has been together.
Oh, thank you. I did like the way you were introduced earlier as MC Drunkard. Do you prefer that going forward?
I mean, McDrunkard's fine, or Drunky is fine. But a fun little fact is my father was a DJ. So
wow. Okay.
So with someone calling me MC Drunkard, I'm like, oh hey,
that's so cool. My father might as well have been a DJ because he always had something to say about some obscure band that no one's heard of. But I guess
underground artist.
I guess that's every father out there. All right. Very sketchy area. Locking onto an enemy that you can barely see. Obviously, you need encyclopedic knowledge of everything that can go wrong here. Some of these enemies will aggro if you step just a pixel off the determined path. I'm really looking forward to seeing if Gino is in possession of the knowledge that somehow allows you to just run through. Look,
all right, so he's killing him.
Yeah, look how easy this is, right?
Look at that stagger, though. So I think it'll be around the same time, if not faster.
Yeah,
I think he might be faster than Easy because he's two-shotting these fools and gets to sprint through the area compared to sneaking around.
Yeah, that's where we see the difference of Stone Ring versus no Stone Ring.
And for those just coming in, this is for you as well, James. We are at currently 0 hits on both sides. Easy is in the lead. He's going pretty damn fast. But like I said, they're both taking they both have similar strats and their own strats as well. And we're seeing a difference in Shrine of Amana right now.
Oh, okay. I know it's wishful thinking. I know this run is incredibly difficult, but if we were to witness a miracle and somehow we see both of these runners, obviously speed aside, no hit Dark Souls 2 all bosses at the same time on command, what would you classify as that? Nothing short of historic, probably.
While in a competition, let alone being in your own chat, listen to some music or something, compared to knowing you're going against somebody else and people are watching you. After
overdosing on coffee and practicing last night, like every boss 600 times.
And so there is an added stress level.
Absolutely, yeah. And I don't know how each of them prefers to handle it, but I know in many of these tournaments, there's people that don't want to know how the other person's doing. They don't want to know if the other person's being faster than them. There's people that don't mind knowing how the other person is, and they don't mind the updates. But
depending how my run is going, I usually stay hidden from that fact until like later on. I know Gino really doesn't care, and he'll usually ask like, "Oh, how are they doing?" And
I used to not care too much until I had one bad tournament one day, and then I was like, "Okay, fuck this, dude."
And Easy also seems like a very chill, laid back type of person who just kind of plays the game for fun instead of like getting accolades. Right. And so I think that he's also able to handle himself very well.
Are you basically just saying that these people are just casually better than us in every single way?
Yeah, they're just throwing a stroll right now and showing us up.
All right. So by hitting the head and having actually, dark damage is one of the weaknesses of this dragon. So just by hitting the head, doing counter damage, doing special damage to the head, and hitting these weaknesses, the dragon is no more.
And we're also seeing that Gino is preferring the ranged route to get rid of that big mushroom enemy.
How did Easy even go through it without killing it?
Got right up in his face.
Okay, dude.
I think he like two-shot him and ran to the right.
I think they would just miss the part where they oiled up a little bit and just like squeeze through. Because I don't know. I feel like if I tried that, my hitboxes would be too chunky.
Well, that's why you got to pick the skinny character.
Damn it. All right, so we're going to see Gino go through the motions here, being invaded.
Roy should be invading.
Checking behind. Right? Oh. What prevented the invasion?
I got no clue. Does anyone in chat know if Roy sometimes invades or in the original? But either way, we got Demon Song coming up here. Let's see how fast Gino can get him down. Welcome in, Couch Jockey.
It might be, actually, I think I'm aware, it might be that in the original game, the hitbox for the invasion is not the same.
Oh.
And it's actually closer to the center. I think I'm remembering. Yeah, that might be it. Anyway, it looks like we're headed for another incredibly...
Can he get it in 2-cycle? Yes. Nice.
Yeah, incredibly smooth Demon song.
And the faster you can get rid of him, the better.
And I gotta say, the Dragon Peak is actually kind of scary in the original Dark Souls too.
The which one?
The area that we just saw easy through.
Dragon Peak.
Because, yeah, you cannot skip it the same way as before, can you? You have to go through there or take some kind of shortcut.
Correct. It's you're not as easy. We'll just keep it at that.
And it's like Gino's carrying over the red tear stone from before.
And Chad is also saying that Gino got a 1 skin bounce, which can really screw you up in that fight.
Oh no. Okay, so this area, definitely one of the better improvements in Scholar. You can actually just focus on killing an enemy at a time, and the rest will respect you. And there's no horrible casters or millions of big armor dudes. But you don't have that luxury here. Looks like poison's going to be the way out. Maybe poison 1 and perhaps...
Yeah, poison and dark arrows.
Yeah. Okay, so you know that it's hard to get through this area consistently if Easy is actually killing the enemies.
Correct.
And I guess
so he's doing a smart option. So what he's doing is, instead of using his dark arrows while the enemy's blocking, which is going to reduce his damage to maybe 10%.
Yeah.
While he's blocking, he's using the poison arrows. That way he gets the poison damage on the boss, because poison arrows themselves don't do as much damage as any other arrow. Their damage obviously comes from the poison.
Right.
So that's a really smart strategy that people might not pick up on if it's not commentated on.
I do think that their blocking also blocks a bit of the poison buildup, but there must be a sweet spot that he's figured out.
It does block some of the buildup, but once you get that buildup going,
it's
you're getting the same poison damage.
Yeah, you're right. And we do have...
he's just running through.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Another thing worth noting, he should be safe up to here. The enemy should stop chasing you. You do more poison damage with the red tear stone, by the way.
You do?
Yeah, you do.
I always forget that, I guess. Damn.
Right. Yeah, no. It absolutely makes a difference.
Like the actual tick itself, or poison damage per hit?
No. The build-up. The tick itself is the same.
Oh, so it just gives you more build-up with poison?
Yeah, I believe so. So what could have been 4 arrows is now 3, perhaps. Or against bosses that take 5 or 6, and you probably can recall a few from the top of your head.
Mm-hmm. That's nice.
It perhaps takes 1 fewer arrow. So this boss, nasty as it is, actually has a very cheesable AI, and we're seeing that in full display right now, how Easy is just trimming its little puppy nails.
So those of you that like feet, this is your favorite boss.
And it looks like the boss didn't really get to do anything impressive or nasty before it could be fully dealt with. That being said, this boss still has one incredibly obnoxious hitbox dislocation issue that can kill you. Are you familiar with that at all, Junkie?
I don't have enough experience with that boss to be able to recall.
I've been hit by it, and I remember Hob being hit by it. Basically, the stomp attack, I don't know, it desyncs in some major way.
Oh.
What ends up happening is the animation barely begins to play out, and you just die.
Mm-hmm. So it's like one of those stored up animations.
Yeah. Check this out.
Nice jump.
And he puts on the precise pants that allow... Okay.
I know what's happening there. You can make that jump without leveling up if you go lower first. But since he has the cat ring and the pants, he's able to do it from higher up.
No. You cannot, Drunky. You can do that jump, but it won't take you to the boss. It will only take you to the platform below. Remember?
Oh yeah, you're right.
He's got the king's ring. He could take 20, 30 seconds to drop down very, very safely and open the gate. But he's like, nah, dude, I don't need to do that. I can just do this sick ass jump and get there and have my red deer stone all in one place. So that is an incredibly difficult jump that I would only attempt in like my first 10 seconds of a run, because holy moly, That's
also,
scary.
he is going for the speed kill on Giant here because some people will just be on the platform above and hit with an arrow or roll forward and hit with the rapier with specific attacks. And other people will use the, what's that sword that you... It has like the Drangleic sword.
Oh, you mean the key sword?
Yeah, the key sword. People use the key sword.
Key to the embedded, yeah.
Yes, that one, because the rapier, sometimes if you don't know how to aim it corcorrectly, you'll miss a few of your hits. And so the key to embedded is easier. It has excellent damage. It's basically unupgradable, so it does good damage by itself. Yeah, very impressive. I think that's not as hard as it looks. It's just so easy to do it safely. Why wouldn't you, right? But we're all about speed here. And the crazy thing is that this boss also has some crazy weird hitboxes. So you need great knowledge to know which ones are deceiving and which ones you have to avoid and how. Mm-hmm. But are we seeing? Are we going to see oh my god! I think the Fume Knight's coming up. Fume Knight is my favorite boss.
Check this out! Bam!
Ooh!
And then you drop, and
that is so sketchy. How does?
Yeah, look, check this out.
That's frame perfect.
Check this out. I love doing this. That was so satisfying. It's so
terrifying.
Mm-hmm. So we know that this boss coming up has a bunch of AoE spells around its boss area that heal him.
So you really want to keep the boss towards the center?
Yeah. Is he gonna bother dealing with them, or?
I'm assuming he's gonna just skip killing them and try to keep the boss in the center. Yep.
You're kidding, dude.
He's going right for it.
Oh, no, dude. Just take 3 seconds. Stop making us look bad. Okay,
but also, in Scholar, when you're running around the side, you have those giants coming after you while you're doing it. So.
Oh, God, dude. Okay, tons of damage. Very well calculated, I imagine.
Damn.
During that wind-up animation at the start.
He should have worn a Vilstats helmet.
I imagine. Okay, that's pretty nuts, dude.
Oh, man.
What?
No greed, keeping it safe. Smart.
Okay.
Oh, God, that was close.
Okay. He just made literally the hardest boss in the game just look. Not the hardest boss for a no-hit run, admittedly, but one of the hardest boss in the game, one of the bosses that killed the most players back when this DLC was released, look like nothing. This boss killed 93% of the players going in. We had official statistics back in the day from the developers themselves. And well, you just saw him crumble to nothing.
So we have Gino coming back here to McDuff, set himself up. Also, if you notice, he initiates, this is a common speedrun strat, which I'm sure most of you guys know. He initiates the conversation and walks away. That way he can bypass some of the dialogue and get a couple of meter distance.
That's so crazy. And again, to be good at what each boss requires from you, to remember all of the items, and then to pull off every little small trick in the book to save seconds and seconds and seconds. I think it takes a lot to do that consistently, honestly. And we are nearing 2 hours into these runs.
So on the left, the reason Gino does a roll instead of just dropping down is because in Dark Souls 2, sometimes when you drop down, your character will do a panic roll.
Yeah,
and
you could also just take 2 seconds to drop safely from another spot, but obviously, we're beyond that right now.
Style points.
Yeah. Okay, well, Gino's going to be doing some platforming over here. We have a very, very sketchy boss on the right.
I'm staring at that HP bar.
Yeah, so basically, this is a repeat of the previous Smelter Demon, and it has all the same quirks, where after it buffs, it will do AoE damage, and that is right now. So from this point, oh my god, that damage though. From this point out, getting close is a no-no, so we're going to have to poison in one way or another. And unlike the previous one, he has a even longer range. He has different timings, and basically it's just harder and has larger.
Just like that attack right there, where he kind of fakes one and then goes into a different attack, the stab attack.
Yeah, this boss was designed with ill intent.
And Gino running past that invader, that's the best way.
Yep. to make sure that if you think that you remember the previous boss's movesets, this one will really throw you off.
Oh, that looked like a late roll to me. That was scary.
Oh dear. But yeah, some of these dodges are also unintuitive in that it looks like you need to dodge very early and then you get hit, or the other way around. So this is definitely a boss that requires a lot from you. And the more you're used to the other one, the more this one will frustrate you. Look how late that looks. And you cannot do it any earlier. If you do it any earlier, it will actually hit you with the poison kill the mid attack.
Nice.
All right.
At first,
Yeah. Oh, damn it.
At first, I thought his weapon bounced off the arena. I was like, that can happen.
Let's look at Gino, because he's got a crazy strat in this incredibly dangerous area that
avoiding
is
those spitters.
Which is filled with poison spitting or petrifying spitting statues. He used to just breeze through this in some crazy way. He might have some consistent strategy that's just a little bit slower, but maybe perhaps equally just as impressive. So I'm looking forward to that. And it looks like Sir Alone is on the menu. Wait. Oh, he's going to poison himself with dung pies. All right.
I guess that's easier since using the weapon that makes you move around.
Yeah, you can do a bunch of stuff in the background. Doesn't consume stamina. Makes perfect sense. Gino, I blinked and he's already through the hardest part of this Cave of the Dead. Mm-hmm. And I think predictably he's going to run through this area, right? You can totally run through.
Yeah, I think he's just going to kill the turtles because those are the spitters, and those are unpredictable.
One big Yearn cast, and he can run through the other static traps. You need to be careful here on GG. Notice that he goes to the right to avoid the stagger from these invaders appearing. Again, this is just showing the knowledge that each player has.
Mm-hmm. And that did happen to Hob during his...
it broke my heart because I was working in his chat, and I'm like, I'm not going to mention it. He knows about it.
And then,
the ways,
he was late to his route too.
Yeah, the ways these runs can end are as endless as they are cruel. And I'm sure that if you're an avid watcher of the kind of streamers that populate this community, you will know for sure. So okay, it seems like what's the strat for Gino and these incredibly unpredictable enemies?
Looks like he's trying to take out the archer first.
Yeah, which makes sense. I think Dark Fog it is, but I don't like this. So make him miss, and then you cast Dark Fog. The nice thing about Dark Fog, every other spell, this range NPC is actually incredibly good at dodging. So even the most hard-hitting spells can be completely worthless. However,
the slower projectiles.
This one makes him roll into it. So you can cast it, he will roll back, and then just be engulfed in the Dark Fog that poisons him. So this is the only spell I have found to work consistently well against this character.
Ooh.
And on the
that run to alone on the right side is beautiful as well.
Fucking God. That is nuts. That is so hard.
I think he's killed the most enemies in an area right now in his whole run, and he only killed a couple. Right. She's been just running past the majority of things.
Oh, on the Brightbark use here. This is so interesting. Here you would typically kill some of the enemies above and then just run through it, but instead he takes this really crazy roundabout way so that it's even faster. How the hell can you do this? Okay, dude. Okay, this beggars belief. This is so crazy. Look at him. He's about to go into one of the hardest bosses out there, and he's got that kind of pressure behind him. Meanwhile, Gino seems to be struggling to find a right opportunity. It shows a lot of commitment to the correct safe strat to know that if you have to wait, you wait.
Correct. It's really easy to get greedy in Gino's fight right now.
Very, very easy to be like, okay.
Mainly because of that archer.
Yeah, it didn't work though. Okay. Oh, see, there's the rollback. I think the problem here is that Gino hit the stalagmite. Oh, he never mind. That did.
He got it.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, I was so worried.
Sir Alone is
okay. Yeah. Okay. No, notice that he's letting him walk back. Yeah, that was very, very good. What's that? Okay, somebody go in his chat and tell him to watch out. Right now, I will call him. Okay, a little bit of extra damage. Notice
He's
the
making
special
good amount of
animation
progress.
for Sit Alone, killing himself, committing Sudoku after a flawless boss. Actually, a really cool
Which
guy.
I think is such cool lore.
Yeah.
Such a
some
cool
of
little
them-
aspect.
Yeah. Okay. So this part here is quite scary.
Oh, okay.
Oh my god. Okay. There was some room to dodge there.
second.
Oh dear lord. Incredibly good improvising from him there. Knowing that he had to take that lunge over there. If you drop badly, you will definitely eat a poison spit from one of the statues below. So scary. Oh no. Oh my god. Okay. That might have been.
Gino's just getting tired of this boss.
Yeah. Okay. Now from here on out, it's honestly easy stuff. He just needs to recover some of the spell uses, and he'll poison these two chumps, and it's really no big deal. But oh my god, that was not pleasant. That was.
Now keep in mind, even though easy is about, I would say, 10 minutes ahead, maybe 12, something like that. Even though he is ahead, they both still have 0 hits. So if easy ends up taking a hit, and they both finish the game like that with Gino 0, easy with 1, it doesn't matter how fast easy finishes because the least amount of hits wins, and in the case of a tie, the fastest run wins.
Right. I am very sorry, but I can, no matter what happens from this point on, I can not consider either of these players to be nothing short of winners. Like seriously, the show they're putting on is just
immaculate.
Like as you said, it's maybe a little over 5 people that pull off this run. And it's one thing to pull off this run after 10 months of sweating like I did, than to do this and make it look easy. So to be one of maybe a dozen people be able to do something and then do it at this level,
it's unthinkable at this point in time.
Yeah.
Crazy. And also, for those that don't know, those that might be joining us, if you are trying to check out these individual streamers on their own channels, you will not be able to find them. They're currently streaming on dummy accounts. That way, their viewers that way we're all consolidated here, and we could all enjoy it together. Right.
So they're not live there, but this is absolutely live.
Ooh, that jump with easy. Ooh, that perfect fall.
Oh, I saw that. Right. This boss dragging a little bit for Gino. I would think it would be over by now, but I think he's doing the right thing. And as we were talking about, it takes a lot to know when to be patient and when not to rush things. So go on. I wonder why we are here right now. Could you elucidate this for me? Why are we killing the giants exactly?
I'm not sure. Do they drop something specific that he needs?
Right. The keys.
Oh,
necessary.
yeah, Dark Lurker. Dark Lurker.
Yeah, no, right. I forgot that the key is also necessary to talk to Grandal. Right. Yeah, this key is necessary. You don't need to grab the other key because you already spawned with it, but you do need this one. Right.
Yeah. Well, once we remembered that you didn't need the DLC keys, we just
assume
disregarded those giants completely.
Typically for Drunkard and I in our runs, okay, that still looks really scary. We would come here and this would already be basically open because we picked up that key for the DLC anyway. But he didn't need to do it then, but he does need to do it now, so that's it. And I think it's going to be
hair on Gino.
Yeah, Film Night coming up. So this is the second time he talks to him, I believe. And now the next one will be on Drangleic Castle. Correct me if I'm wrong. Because he did talk to him in the Shaded Woods.
Yes.
Very, very seamlessly into his routing, by the way, which is very impressive. I believe he did do Shaded Woods. I could be mixing him up with...
I don't see why they wouldn't. Because it takes just a couple extra seconds, and there's no reason to go back to Shaded Woods later on.
Are we here for chunks? What are we here for?
For easy?
Yeah.
King Vendrick.
Oh wait, he's already got the souls?
Well, you don't need all of them, but it's up to you how many you want to get.
Oh, right. Okay, I guess this is another part that really sets apart a more slowed traditional run to what they're going to do. So for me, I would pick, maybe not all of them, but I would pick 4 out of the 5, right?
Yeah, whatever's like convenient on the pathing.
Right. Yeah.
And I would definitely do him later in the run.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Right. So this is going to be quite a tanky boss then. But seeing the kind of damage that Easy can do, Wow.
And I do believe he does have 3 because you get it from the giants in the pit that he just killed.
Right.
Ancient Dragon.
Yeah. Right. Which is already done. True. Yeah. No. So it's 3 out of 5, which is reasonable, although probably still a chunky health bar to go through. I don't know. I feel a bit stupid for asking this, but did you notice that the infusions on both of the rapiers at some point changed?
Yes. When they went back to McDuff that second time. So they kept darkness. I don't remember exactly when they went back to McDuff. It was, I believe, like 2 bosses ago, or after Ancient Dragon. I think it was after Ancient Dragon they changed.
Right. So could you shed some light onto why? I remember when Dark Souls 2 came out, and there was a big uproar in the community when someone figured out that if you have a lightning infused weapon and you buff it with lightning, it doesn't really do any more damage than if you just buff it with something else, because the way elemental damage works in Dark Souls 2 is a bit interesting. So
correct,
they do have
they
a
also
lightning weapon with dark buff attached to it right now.
But they also have been leveling up intelligence and faith. And so they're scaling off of that as well. So they're getting double scaling because you're getting intelligence or faith for the lightning, and then intelligence plus faith for the dark infusion.
I do think the reason they do this, I mean, obviously they could have just kept it dark, but the reason they do it, could it be that the bosses that are up ahead, Nashandra, namely, and so on, are just more prone to lightning overall? Because I remember that on average, most of the DLC bosses, you use lightning buffs, and that seems to be the way to go. So
and a lot of the Drangleic bosses are weak to dark, and enemies are weaker to dark.
Right.
And so for those also that don't know, for King Vendrick, for every giant soul that you get, it reduces his HP by half.
Right.
So
if you walk in here without any of them, this boss basically
could take forever. Yeah.
Basically unbeatable. And this is not quite it, but it was still a very, very long fight. Gino's handling this.
I don't know if you noticed, but he accidentally did a jump attack with the bow. I think that's what I saw, unless I'm crazy.
I don't think there's accidents. That's another one of those really crazy timings.
Correct, because it's just like guard breaking. If you move forward while hitting R2, you'll do a jump attack.
Right.
And so if you're moving forward that timing.
Dude, I know he's got it, but dude, it just still looks bad. And I think it's coming up again, maybe? No.
Yeah, any enemy that has like a particle effect on their attacks it's not unguaranteed hitboxes or strange looking hitboxes.
Yeah, I think
you aren't sure where it starts.
I think there are actually 2 hitboxes. You have a hitbox that originates from the weapon that stays on no matter what, and then another one on top. So you can get hit by 2 different attacks at once, basically. So with this boss, he can hit you for very little damage, but still a hit.
He missed the backstab on Jester Thomas, but he should be able to stagger him, because as long as you're close enough to him, he can't do anything.
Right. Wait.
I wish they enabled him to just punch.
Wait, Drunky, I can't tell if that was a joke or
what.
that wasn't a joke.
No.
Okay.
It looked like he was going for a backstab, so I was like, "Oh, okay."
Jester Thomas has the one piece of equipment that prevents backstabs.
Oh,
you dummy!
All right, I will see myself out.
I thought that was like a super good joke from you, dude. I was gonna roll with it.
Okay, let's roll this back. Roll it back. Say the line.
No, to be fair, this is a pretty obscure mechanic that you would only know about if you played a bunch of PvP. So,
and the thing is, I even had a Jester Thomas cosplay, and so I would have like for PvP and stuff. And so I should have remembered that.
Listen, dude, it's been a while. I don't hold it past you. I just thought, wow, dude, he thinks so highly of me that he thinks I'm gonna pick up this joke like immediately. And he said that in such an unassuming way that he like, wow, like damn. So
damn,
I just wanted to be sure.
Should have played it off.
Oh, damn. But
yeah, good joke. Yep, thank you, Jovi. Yeah, see,
he cannot be backstabbed, but his AI can basically be abused. If he doesn't get to do his initial gesture, you just whack him, and he basically gets in that death loop. And
got some twin blade action on the right.
Okay, I'm starting to see why Easy got invaded by Kindler and Gino did not. Because Easy grabbed this weapon, triggered the thing, and Gino just took the easier route, avoiding it altogether.
Gotcha. And Gino is also... Yeah, go ahead.
Another difference is, the Gino is actually getting rid of the healing AoE.
Smelter wedges.
Or
using smelter wedges.
Yeah, that would heal the boss. So he has a bit more room for a mistake, which honestly, if it results in not getting hit, go off.
And that's why he needs those pants.
What? Okay. Is this with the cat ring as well?
It's got to be, right? Yeah.
He's going to probably...
It was.
Wow.
He just swapped it for Flynn.
Dude. Can you believe that? Wow. Okay. Respect. Okay, so this boss has a very lengthy wake-up animation, and you can start to whack her a bunch.
Look at that, half health.
And make sure that you get behind her so that she has to do this stupid animation. Oh my god.
Jesus. Okay.
Oh, damn.
All right.
Son. Damn. Like, we've been here, but damn.
Now we have Fume on the left as well.
Yeah, while we see him set up for the next boss, which will happen almost immediately, we can see Gino smelt the Fume Knight and make him look bad as well. I don't think he'll be able to do quite as much damage playing it safe. This is such a fun no-hit run boss to do, because as difficult as he is, he's actually incredibly consistent. So you can do this boss without a hit, I think, very, very consistently. Would you agree with that?
Oh, yeah. 100%. Especially with sidestepping his regular sword attacks are really nice.
I think that's incredibly difficult, or at least impressive.
The small sword, not the big sword.
Right.
Not the Fume sword.
you just saw Gino sidestep the big sword like it was nothing. So yeah. Okay, we see a tail cut on Sin on the right, and it's really hard to know where to rest your eyes because so much action is happening. Look at that.
This is fantastic.
Yeah, incredibly.
And Sin himself, he's a flying statue essentially. So his hitboxes can be weird. But look at that! Look at that double finish, Easy and Gino.
Dude, if you told me that someone directed this to play out like this, I would believe it.
This is fantastic.
It's so crazy. Wow. Wow. So
I think we are going to have to go in their chats and tell them to do a point down emote or something at this rate.
Yeah, we will.
I'm getting skeptical with how amazing this is.
Wait, something I just realized something funny happened. Gino has killed one of the bosses in the DLC, and then Easy has killed the other two bosses. So between the two of them, the first DLC has already been completed in a way.
Wow. Also, the way that Easy just runs through these ghost enemies makes me so nervous. He just runs right down the middle.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing clearly, and but
we should have some skulls.
I guarantee you, if you don't play on point and you do this a few times, you're gonna end up getting hit here. So great pathing there, understanding that that's a little safety pocket where you can teleport away. And now he's got the key to go into the cave where Gino went through earlier to kill the three NPC boss that we saw earlier. It was really, really interesting to see how Gino handled it. I wonder if we'll see a difference here.
I will say Easy. This could be very risky for Easy.
Yes,
because he is, you know what I'm saying? He's doing the speedrun strats, and it's been successful so far.
Yeah,
but that's one of those fights where
I don't think it would be a crazy idea for him to dial it back a little bit and just do it a little bit slower.
And so I think if he is to get hit, it's either going to be here or the final boss.
We see him casting a Yearn that will distract the enemies. Gino's running through these incredibly obnoxious and incredibly unsafe streets of Ilium Lois, the third DLC. There's a dog here that you pretty much have to kill. It's a very unpleasant enemy. This part here, you could kill the enemies on the right, but seems like Easy is confident running through. And basically what you're seeing right now is very, very good understanding of how these enemies behave and what you can get away with, and probably being very, very ready to improvise should something go south. But so far, no issues. Easy on the right will deal with Baldir, the same enemy that Gino dealt with. Gino did a really interesting jump to make the enemy despawn. And I wonder if we're going to see the same thing.
It's pretty well known at this point, so he should go straight forward.
I think he doesn't have anything to survive the fall. I think he's just teleported. I take it back. He usually doesn't have that. It's just to set up red tier stone. Okay, I'm shutting up. Just Just add the director commentary after this. Just okay, fair enough. All right. I think Yearn here is an absolute weapon of a spell. You see it being casted over and over and over again because there's just so many enemies after every corner. And I think that, considering that there's no forlorns, right, this next part should be quite uneventful for Gino. He should do this no problem. I'm more interested on the right from... Oh my god.
Jesus.
That was a bit of damage, but it was only from the fall. So, not gonna lie, my heart skipped a beat. This enemy, I cannot bear being so close to it while you kill it. Yeah. That was way faster than Gino. Even though Gino knows how to do this, he must have assessed that it was a bit too dangerous. So...
I think it was so risky to get right in its face right there. I don't know if that was intended or not.
What the hell, man?
I don't know if that was intended or if he just was able to make a good comeback.
I don't. I think from what we've seen, we need it. We expect everything to be deliberate.
And also, let me mention this one more time here before we goes into this next area. Both these guys are still 0 hits. Easy is in the lead speed wise. And Easy has not officially submitted a run for all boss, all content Dark Souls 2 no hit, which he has done, but he's officially not on Team Hitless because he hasn't submitted the video. And so if he does this live in this tournament, boom, he's in Hitless right off the bat because I'm literally a verifier and we're verifying it right now.
Okay. So what does your verifying what does your verifying ass think about that? Oh my god. Okay, so this does complicate things a little bit with the range enemy now being in the middle. You need to change your route ever so slightly. Oh, he did drop down. Okay. No. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad he rolled out of that.
Yeah. I'm so sorry, but this is just a little bit too much for my old heart. Now you can use a number of cues here to understand what's going on. You can listen to the water being splashed to see if an enemy followed you, but make no mistake, you stop looking at an enemy for a second and they will somehow climb onto a wall and do something stupid. And I don't understand what his plan is here. I generally do not understand what he's trying to achieve. It doesn't seem like... He doesn't have the... you see the difference between not having the stone ring there, right?
Yeah.
Oh my lord! Okay, he's totally good. He's totally good. He just needs to get out of this tiny little coffin of water. Oh dear god. That might have just been the closest encounter yet. We see him opening up his menu. Okay, is he just trying to...
It looks like he's trying to squeeze in attacks on his way around the...
But he does have the Dark Fox spell, which seems like the clear go-to...
I think he does want to use it. Yeah.
Okay. This is actually, believe it or not, this is actually safe. If while you're casting the spell, you see the enemy begin to shoot you, you would get hit. But at that point, you can still cancel the spell and dodge out of it. So basically, you cast the spell, you pray to baby Jesus that you don't see anything, and then you're good. And if you somehow see the arrow come, then you just cancel it last second, and that should be safe.
And we got Gino on the left here dealing with this with the King's Pet.
Which is comparatively a little bit easier, but still a bit of a nerve-wracking boss. And
I do want to see somebody fight this boss while it's still invisible.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
For those who don't know, this boss is originally invisible, and then the enemies in the shaded woods that are like the ghosties, I call them, they are revealed to be like actual enemies that you can see after you grab the eye in this area.
Right. So it seems like Gino's going to do a little bit of walking and talking to an NPC for the next maybe few seconds. So we can take our attention and focus it entirely on GG. He knows that the 2 poisons are not good enough. That's maybe the reason he's been squeezing a little bit of
just extra damage in there.
Yeah. So he's basically, by my estimation, 2 arrows away from killing Sarah. The timing on that is so deceiving, by the way. I don't know if it looks easy, but it most certainly is not easy. So it takes nerves of steel to calculate how far the other enemies are of you and how much time you have. Here's the infamous Nice. It was only 1 arrow after all. Lovely. Right. So from here on out, it's on. You can honestly play it like a catch a mouse sort of catch up game where you can constantly loop them and get them killed. So even though it will take a little bit, I reckon this boss is easily doable from now on.
Yeah, just whittling away at them at this point.
Mm-hmm. I wonder why he doesn't use the Dark Fog to poison both of them. But at the same time, while you use the poison arrows, you do a little bit of damage on the arrows itself. So
Not said doo.
Yeah, you do damage.
Easy also seems like the kind of guy who doesn't like to sit still too much.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why he was squeezing in attack. Even though Havel was literally holding his shield up, he was still doing like the 2 damage with an arrow at him in between running around the arena.
That's where perhaps his mindset just comes into play. Meanwhile, Gino has the non-enviable task of running through this 3rd DLC a bunch of times to collect knights that will aid. And they're pretty crucial in the no-hit run of the final boss of this area. So he will not be collecting all of them. That's actually kind of a bad thing. He will be collecting enough to seal the portals that will make enemies stop spawning when the big boss comes by. And he will be soloing it, which turns out to be the faster and more consistent strategy because it's actually somewhat detrimental to have an NPC try to help you out and get in your way. He's using the Dark Sign? He doesn't want the souls from this? That's kind of crazy. I guess they really don't care.
Yeah, I mean, at this stage, like you're already so highly leveled.
Yeah.
That it takes so many souls to get one level out of it.
Again, it's the speedrun mentality. Both you and I know that if we were to do this ourselves, we would be spending every little soul, getting one tiny little bit of extra stamina to be able to run for 1% longer or some other dumb non-optimized improvement.
Completionist mentality plus hoarder mentality.
Yeah.
Not using bright bugs on a crystal lizard.
Yeah. Meanwhile, these two are on the grind set. They're like, nope. I'm just focusing on what matters.
But that's another fantastic thing. Even though people can learn from the same route or play the game, for so long, they can still have their own personal preferences, still their own play styles, still their routes. And all that, and it's such versatility in these games. Right.
So what we see on Gino here, he's gonna be after clearing the blizzard in Ilium Lois, the 3rd DLC area. He now can use a torch to set these counters on fire, and that will open this area, which is filled with some horrible enemies. But it's all good. It's all good. He just needs a key, and he'll be out. I think 1 year on cast, then I think he might be safe. Oh wow, he can actually just completely ignore that enemy. Cool. This one, I guess he'll be poisoning. Yeah. I guess there's no real way of getting rid of that. So after the poison, switches to normal arrows to speed up the process of killing it. And let's remember, even though they seem to be going at a similar pace by what you see on screen right now, they're actually geographically very close to each other. They could honestly just wave at each other right now. Gino has already done a fair amount of this DLC. But he is missing on the 2 other bosses of the first DLC. So it's kind of funny that they intersect for a little minute, but probably after this, they might be on separate paths for a little while again.
Co-op incoming, says chat.
It would be really, really fun if they could actually see each other. Yeah, imagine doing a no-hit run and you can see the spirit of the other person. That could be a sick mod, honestly.
That would be really cool. I
would pay to see that for races and stuff. Ooh. Right, so, I mean, look, they literally are on the same circus right now. I don't know if it's just me or if it's me lined up that well for everybody.
That's beautiful. Look at that.
You can see the casting at the same.
Is one on a delay? Like one's on like a 2-second delay. That's it. We're watching the same same person.
Yep. It's so fun. Okay. That javelin toss animation, by the way, is extremely sketchy. I think it's one of the worst synchronized animations in the game. You'll see the enemy begin to throw a weapon and then immediately throw it. So it's something that I'm sure they're familiar with and they keep in mind and take into account. But scary, right?
Absolutely, and I do believe they are both going, or their next boss is going to be the Twin Tigers.
So this is where we're going to see this
that beautiful
darkness infused maze, and this is something I did. I don't know if they picked it up from me or if they just reached a similar conclusion on their own. But this is actually the weapon to take on this horrible path. It does a lot of stagger damage, and it does a lot of a lot of blunt and dark damage, both of which I think are good against the enemies in this area. And if you don't know the enemies of this area, I'm seriously jealous. They are just horrible creatures. During the high blizzard that basically covers your entire screen, they appear around you and keep respawning consistently. So it's not like you can cheese them or make them or kill them slowly. And you need to deal with them before moving forward many times, because they are one of the few enemies in this game that genuinely catches up to you, and they can immediately overwhelm you if you have several of them catching up behind you. They do range attacks. They run really fast. Their hitboxes are incredibly sketchy. So trying to dodge through them, at least from my experience, is a very frustrating endeavor.
Let alone having your visual compromised.
Oh yeah, that also is a huge part of it. So as you can see, what the strategy here is going to be is to run out until their attack ends, and then just stun lock them, make them pancake them into the ground. Now assume that Gino here made a bit of a blunder, and instead of going in the straight path that he needs to follow, he deviates from it by just a few degrees, let's say 10 degrees. That would compromise everything. Now that enemy might spawn in a different angle. To deal with it, you might move a little bit out of the way. So when you keep running away, you're now going to spawn an extra enemy. Everything can go wrong if you don't play this perfectly. And I remember the route that I used went a little bit sideways, and it seemed somewhat consistent. And then again, in my own run, I messed it up, and it was a complete matter of luck that I made it through. So I bet they are onto something, and they do have an easier route here. And notice that they're waiting for the blizzard to subside so they can continue without horses.
Which is
everywhere.
Definitely the smart strat. Don't try sprinting through here.
No,
maybe on a speed run, but
yeah, in a speed run, the person running has the benefit of being able to tank a hit or two.
Mm-hmm.
Because they are full health. They really don't need to mine one hit or two. But I mean, it goes without saying that our friends here, they can't afford that. So waiting a few seconds here will definitely pay off for the next cycle of the blizzard, which I don't remember super well, but it is somewhat consistent in the way it goes on and off.
So Easy just finished off the single tiger. I forgot that he didn't kill that one yet, and so soon we're going to see him joining Gino in a horse crap valley.
We imagine that he's not going to go any other place right now. He's already correct me if I'm wrong, but GG's already done the first two DLCs, all the bosses in there.
I believe so. Yes.
How does that make you feel?
How many bosses is Gino behind right now? If you count both of them going towards the Twin Tigers.
I believe
3.
I believe 2 or 3. Yeah,
2?
The 2 from the first DLC, right?
Yeah.
And is there any optional boss that the Gino has not tackled?
I don't believe so.
He did.
Esther alone has not been done by Gino.
Yeah. Okay.
King Vendrick.
Yes. Right. Ooh. So at least 4, huh?
Oh yeah, they both haven't done Chariot. Chat's informing me.
Oh yeah, but that's something that they both will tackle later, so that doesn't set them apart. They both have done the both rats, so that's also out of the way. And I think they're both in a relatively good spot to do the Dark Lurker. Although I think Gino still needs to do some extra steps. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Correct. He hasn't killed the giants down there yet.
Yeah, so it looks like GG is 4 bosses ahead, with a bit of an advantage on, let's say, 4.5 bosses ahead. That being said, Gino has the advantage in this area where he has cleared a bit more of Liam Lois. So it's not quite, and considering that some of these bosses are fast, the difference between the two of them is not as large as that number would indicate, I think.
Correct. And also for those just coming in, another recap here. We are about 2.5 hours into the run. Both of these runners, GinoMachino on the left and Easy WW on the right, both amazing runners. Both have 0 hits at this point. Both have completed this run before, and this is going to be insane if they both end up getting to 0 hits all the way through, because that'll be, I think, the first time in this tournament's history.
Yeah.
And they are doing a hit, no hit and speed race. So if primarily the person with the least amount of hits wins, but if they tie with hits or both have 0 hits, then the fastest time wins.
That was a beautiful recap, McDrunkard. Damn.
Thank you.
Good job. Okay. So we have the 2 black cats coming up. When the HP of the first one reaches around 50%, I think a little bit more, the second one will join in. So what we're looking at right now is a situation where you want to kill this one immediately. Aren't we already there? No. Wow. I'm sorry, I'm a bit speechless.
Me too.
He must be so close to the threshold where the second cat joins in.
He's got to be 1 hit away at this point. Wow, and I think he knows.
Wow. Okay,
yeah,
I thought it was 60.
He wanted to wait, that way he could finish off one before the other one.
No, that was beautiful. I genuinely thought it was the other way around, and I was holding my breath, trying to see if the other cat would join in. But yeah, this other cat, surprisingly enough, is actually a little bit easier because it has a buff animation when it's low on health, and it's very easy to see it coming. So you could kill it once, probably right now. He'll do a little step back at some point.
And there it is.
Yep.
Nice, quick, simple, clean. No hits through a horse F Valley.
Yeah.
And just very keeping it impressive.
Very impressive, dude. Wow. Way to go, Gino. Way to go. More urns being cast here. Watch out. Look at that. Wait, that actually looked fine.
The spear animation? I think I don't think it's 100%. I do believe it's in both games, but I think it just has the chance to be wonky, like you were talking about earlier.
Okay, I thought it was always. No, that actually looked very, very good. So what we can find in this room is a bunch of useful items. He doesn't seem like Gino's interested, whatever he's at right now. Do you catch how upgraded his rapier is?
I did not, but Shilky in chat is saying that wonkiness we were talking about, it depends on where we cast a urn. So that could also be a factor.
Oh. Wow. Okay. Well, I'll take their word for it. I had never, ever even considered that.
Nice, good jump here. I remember hopping.
Wow. Look, the second jump doesn't even proc any damage. That's crazy. Well, now we fully understand. I mean, we had an idea, but now we fully understand why both the cat ring and the furry pants are necessary. Now, there's a really nasty invader right here that is actually a bit of a hassle, but I think that with the stone ring, Gino should have an easy time just poking away at its health. If it does get close, it's got some... there you go. Oh, the spell hit the railway. Yeah, it's hard to see with the name of the...
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's coming close. Every time.
How does he do it? Okay.
Oh God!
After killing the invader and part of our hearts, Gino's should have an easy time just casting Urn and unlocking yet another knight to join him in his quest. And on the right, we see the fan favorite area being run through again. And I imagine GG Easy might do it even faster. Weird. But yeah, the drop is very spooky, as chat points out. Don't forget, if you by any chance make a tiny little mistake and forget to equip a certain ring, or you swap out this item when you don't need to, any of these drops could kill you. So again, it's a lot of things to keep in mind. That,
as well as throw off the momentum of the run, because a lot of times in runs, usually more, in the first half, you're very calculated on which souls you pick up, what levels you put in, and what souls you spend on what. And so if you forget to put on the Seldora set or don't do it in time, you're short on souls and you have to adapt at that point, which, like I said, can throw off the momentum.
Are you the type of runner to keep notes next to you, Drunky?
I do, yeah. I use them more for like reference, but it helps me to remember like, okay, at this instance I buy this instance I buy that. Because when you're first routing a run, you're trying all these different variations, and it's easy to forget.
It does help me to have notes as I am theory crafting. I don't typically check them during the runs, unless it's something very, very specific. But I do feel that it helps you a little bit. And I think that at the pace that these players are going, I can't imagine them checking notes on the side.
Correct. Yeah. For me, I usually had like, I kind of made them into like a Spark notes, like bullet points type of deal, just to keep me organized, and then specific like numbers and other things like that.
Wow.
But with these guys, they've done this so many times that they barely need one monitor. So
Gino collected yet another knight, and with that, is that all of the knights he needs? I think so, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think we might be seeing the Ivory King coming up.
Your favorite.
This is a particular. I pretend I didn't hear that. This is a particularly troublesome fight, because unlike many other bosses, you don't just deal with the boss. You actually need to do a preamble, battle royale sort of fight, where it's typically you against everything else. It's very nasty. It's very,
any fight that has multiple enemies, let alone NPCs that are friendly, can get out of hand very quickly, because it's
unpredictable. It's hard to practice. You can't even practice the boss itself quickly because you need to go through this. So you cannot like throw yourself at it a bunch of times. Trying
to make sure you're not getting hit from the back, and these guys have pyro and stuff, so they do have projectiles, which adds another layer of difficulty.
I love the fact that he's using the all-night hammer to pancake them into the ground.
It's nice. It immobilizes them, leaving one less person to worry about.
But what are the chances that you're going to be able to pull that off consistently here, though?
That's true, especially. I mean,
well, there they are.
It looks like he's got it. Looks like he knows what he's doing.
I honestly,
and Easy's on the second tiger right now.
I honestly think that's still really scary. I'm sorry. I did like the strategy of using the warp sword or some other fast but poise hitting weapon. This seems okay. This, I don't know. It's Gino.
Easy's done with a tiger, and Gino is being patient, just like he was in the fight with the triple.
It's so crazy to think how fast they're doing this.
Eyes are tweaking a mile a minute, looking at all these enemies running around, trying to figure out if they're going to attack.
There are a few things that once you figure out about this fight, it does make it a lot easier. So for example, one thing that I think is important to know is that for some reason, even though there might be 5 or 6 enemies at a time, only 2 of them ever aggro onto you at any given time.
That's cool.
So if there's 4, you only need to worry about the 2 that are currently switched onto you. Even though this can switch on back and forth very quickly, if you keep that in mind, it does help to free up your visual resources, if you will. So you only have to worry about 2. A potential, that was a close one. A potential third one perhaps switching on soon. So if you do that and you keep running in this particular motion
pattern,
exactly, you eventually grind them down. But I don't see this being fast, if I'm honest. I think it's going to be bow and arrow very slowly. And
I think so.
I wouldn't be surprised if Gino is left alone with... Dude, why does he have the hammer? What does he expect to do? I wouldn't be surprised if Gino is left alone with like 5 of these guys in like a few seconds.
He's staying consistent.
What are you doing? What are you going to do with that hammer, dude? He's going to parry one of them with the hammer. Watch it.
God. The darkness from that guy's weapon scared me.
Yeah, okay. If you want to have your heart pierced again, watch on the right. See, he does not have the stone ring.
Correct, but the spell still gets blocked.
Yeah, no, I think that's
just a distance?
Yeah, that might be.
Oh, god damn it.
My heart, dude. Oh, why?
Chat, you guys watch this one for us, please.
Oh, please, just report for duty. Tell me if there's a hit there. Oh, help me, God. That's so scary. Okay.
At least he 2 shots. Oh, he doesn't. But it's 1 shot.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. That's fine. As long as he can find 1 stray arrow. onto that enemy. He's got at least 2 enemies very ready to go. And he's going to be alone. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm counting at least 5, maybe 6. That's 6.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. 2 of them just 1 arrow away. So he needs to get rid of them to. Yeah.
He needs to get rid of them right now because.
Okay. He's.
Big boy's about to come in.
No, the king won't show up until he kills them all. So there's no pressure on that. Oh, I think that enemy's going to attack.
Oh, that timing. So what Gino did right there was perfect. A lot of people would try to spam the roll button as fast as possible. He was very precise and waited for the exact time to press it. This is one of the best things about Gino because he can keep his composure. Even earlier when we saw his strat go out the window, he was able to assess the situation, overcome it, and succeed.
Yeah, so that is the optimal way to dodge it and the optimal way to make a commentator shit their pants, which I guarantee you is going to happen if we keep seeing that. So that was really, really good. As you said, I know it's against the convention, but as you said, okay, that was it. It is very easy once you find yourself a little bit cornered to immediately smash the button, and it's a very natural reaction. But he knows that if he does it too early, he's going to get caught.
And I do believe that is why many of these enemy attacks, especially later game ones, are programmed with that slight delay.
Yes, yeah.
To really catch you and roll catch you.
Yeah. So, all right, no range attacks to worry about. You just need to worry about these attacks. For the most part, these attacks can be outrun. The only thing that could be scary is if you were to run out of stamina or if you were to get swarmed against a corner somewhere. But as you can see, his movement is just... He's not greedy. And his movement is just right to make sure that he always has some space to dodge into without having to worry about an enemy coming there. That's
also a basic concept of stamina management, making sure you're not running out of stamina. So you can always emergency roll when needed.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a question in chat, why they're firing spells into the sky. That is Yearn. It's a sorcery. It's just like Alluring Skulls, except it affects some enemies that Alluring Skulls don't, and vice versa.
So yeah,
but it's a better skull.
Basically a decoy. Okay, this is where things can get ugly. Well done by Gino though. Yeah, it's basically like a little decoy that will take attention away from you. And you place it in the place that will affect the most enemies. So I do like the fact that we're going to converge again. I definitely am a bigger fan of GG's weapon for this. I think it's going to be a lot easier to use. But despite my skepticism, Gino's been handling this just fine. So even though it will be a matter of time, he's going to be fine. And once it's one enemy or two, he can probably switch back to the hammer. Look how quickly the knight was melted there with this weapon. Wow. Oh. Okay. Watch out. Totally good. Looks like he's waiting here to give himself a bit of an exit. Those spells, by the way, from your allied units can be very off-putting and can be very scary. Okay, he's switching up. Oh, that's bad. Oh my god, he absolutely needed to do that. He could not outspace it back in that tight area. Woo. He needed to roll through that. That was out of pure necessity, and he clutched it.
Oh my god.
Wow. You cannot just dodge that spell out of the way. It is too big. It reiterates itself too many times. You cannot just dodge away. If it catches you against the corner, it's typically GG unless you can pull off the impossible, which GG just did. So, wow. What the hell? Whew. Thank you.
Otzdarva, check DMs real quick on Discord.
Oh, sure, absolutely.
And this is awesome to see both of them once again. What Otz was saying, seeing them both kind of in the same area, doing the same thing, or doing the same fight, but seeing how each one of them is doing it in their own version. Are they doing it with the same strategy? You know, we can already see they're using different weapons. This fight is no joke, though. And it's really good.
We haven't talked about it, but there also is a potential issue. It should be rare of you killing the enemies too fast. If by some miracle you manage to kill all of these Black Knights at once too quickly, you could actually trigger the boss before you are really ready for it. So
that, and would you like to explain the frozen portals?
Right. So you spawn in this fight with one Loist Knight who will eventually sacrifice himself to seal one of the portals. It doesn't matter. There's still 2 other portals. The enemies will keep going and going and going. Eventually, if you recruit 2 extra knights, you can have 1 portal for each. And eventually, when you kill everything, it's a 1-on-1 with the boss. There's also the option of recruiting an extra knife so that he can help you for the boss. Although in a no-hit run, that help is actually a little bit hard and kind of gets in the way.
Looks like Easy
caught up.
Just bypassed Gino right now. The Twin Blade looks like it was the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Going into phase 2 of the fight on the right side here with Easy. And Gino still staying safe on the left side.
I think Gino can wrap up the final one really quickly once one of them is gone. So
I think so.
It's just taking a little bit longer than he'd like, probably. Switching back to Rapier, Burn Aber King. I'm not saying this because I died to it more than I'd like, but it genuinely is an unnerving boss that almost plays out like a Dark Souls 3 boss in Dark Souls 2. Not just because he has 2 faces, but because his attacks are fast.
And his attacks aren't like straightforward, like, oh, he's swiping. No, like we just saw an attack where it looks like he's doing an overhead and he switches it to his side attack.
He does kind of mind game you in a way. He has a buffing animation where you can actually punish him a lot, but it looks very similar to an attack. So you could lose on an opportunity to deal a lot of damage, or think that you have the opportunity and then walk right into a blade hit. So it's very unpredictable. I think it's very difficult. If it gets to stage 2, his weapon gains distance, damage, and unpredictability overall. He has one of the fastest.
Didn't even see that.
Okay. Here's the buff with like 1 HP left. That's disgusting. Yeah. Okay. That can be done. No, that can be done in practice, but to do that in a run, hitless.
It's no longer called drunky tech. It's now easy tech.
That's just disgusting. Okay. Just after one fight ends, we see the other one start, so we can appreciate it even more. Notice that some of these attacks are heavily delayed, and there's no telling whether or not they're going to come. Oh my god, I thought that was a hit. I missed a beat. There's no telling whether some of these attacks are going to be fast or slow. Sorry, go ahead.
And those in chat, if you all do get some awesome clips, you can always post them in the Hitless Discord as well. And for those that missed what just happened, what we were all freaking out about is Easy on the right side here ended up doing a backstab into an attack on Ivory Knight. Oh my god! Okay. So any sane individual would have thought that at this point the boss would buff the same way that that we saw it happen with Easy, but he did not. And not only that, he did one of those rare delayed attacks. And Gino just handled that beautifully. Oh my god, my respect for this player just keeps going high and higher. Both of these.
That's just crazy. So with that out of the way, Gino now needs to catch up and do the 2 main bosses of the first DLC that he skipped on earlier. It won't take very long to get there, and once one of them is gone, the other one follows very quickly. On the other hand, our friend Easy is just going for one of the many optional bosses. And there's a million ways to deal with this one. I guess we're going to go the Yearn route and just use Yearn to distract the enemies and do that. Oh my god, I love that dodge. Right, so this boss is basically a big chariot that does laps around the boss arena and will mercifully, mow you down if you're in its way and you don't find cover. Once you get to the end, you can basically ground it and start fighting it like a normal boss.
Oh, it looks like Gino missed the backstab on Chester Thomas.
Very unlucky. We can recover from this massive failure. Okay. Seems like he's okay.
So for those for Vash in chat and those that don't know, Dark Souls 2 is different than the other Dark Souls games because when you backstep, you actually have iframes. It's less iframes and it's different timing, but you can dodge an attack by stepping backwards. And that is what he did in the boss fight. Instead of rolling, he did that little backwards skip.
Oh, Drunky, did you miss it? He actually had to bone out of the chariot fight.
Oh, yeah, I just saw that.
No, I'm
that
joking.
fight can get. Oh,
he killed it in 2 seconds.
Tyrannosaurus Brett, thank you for that raid. Very much appreciated.
Welcome in, friends. No, he stunned the boss and literally did it with a single use of his whole stamina bar. It was.
Yeah, I look at chat for a second.
It was ridiculous,
and it's gone.
So with GG missing, having done actually all of the quests, I'm guessing now it's time for him to beat the Dark Lurker. So is that what we're going to witness? Oh, he's making the screen lighter. Actually,
interesting.
He's making it brighter, maybe to see better in the.
Shoki, are you able to get a clip of that for us, please, just in case? Shoki is saying he might have boned out too soon.
Oh,
in the chariot fight.
Oh yeah. Well, would you care to explain why that can be an issue? Maybe you can.
Because then the boss doesn't count as fully dead.
Right. If you after its HP reaches 0, if you retreat a little bit too quick, you might actually not make the game believe you've killed it. So you would have to.
That's my understanding. Yeah.
Yeah, which would not be a big issue because it's not like he needed any crazy resource and he did it in like 2 minutes. But
the only issue is that you'd have to go kill the boss again.
Yeah. Would you say that for the sake of a challenge run, would that count? Or do we need the boss to be technically dead?
I would say technically dead, honestly.
Okay. I think morally, to me, that's a W. That's a win. Like,
true,
if you need to be like, all right, top of the leaderboards, legit, then yeah, okay, sure.
I think if it's in if I just watched a run, I'd be like, oh yeah, no, he nailed that run. But in a competition where he's boning out early to save time, where time matters,
that is completely reasonable. I think you're right. These enemies are really scary, by the way. They can hit you through walls and do all kinds of crazy things. Or is it just me?
Sorry, I missed that one more time.
The enemies in the abyss section here. Especially the ghost types that can shoot through walls and do crazy things. I find them really scary, personally.
I do too, because it seems like their attacks, they take some getting used to.
Okay, so look at Gino. He could not one cycle this boss and will now need to deal a finishing blow before he can move on. I think he can do it right now.
That was good bait. That was good bait.
Oh,
greed for the win.
He could have been a little bit greedy, and if you looked at his stamina, you might be under the impression that he could finish the boss right there. I think he could, but the problem is, after you kill the boss, the little spawn minion can still hit you. So I think keeping that in mind, he did the right thing. You remember?
Sorry, I was reviewing the clip of Easy. I don't see the souls pop up.
Let's have a look.
So after he does everything, we can have him go back, and if the boss is dead, then we'll mark the time from when he finished the last boss.
Wait. I'm gonna watch this in like
super slow.
0.25. Yeah, you keep an eye on the
kill's very delayed. Oh, I got you, Shilky. All right, so on the left side here, we got Gino fighting Sin, the Stone Dragon.
Yeah, to the best of my ability, I don't see the pop up either. Could he not check his inventory to see if he's...
He could see if he has the boss soul as well. Unless he cashed it in and we didn't notice.
I think
Gino's doing a great job on Sin here. He got a good amount of headshots in, dodging perfectly.
Yeah, can we talk about how difficult this boss is when it starts flying around and won't land ever?
Oh yeah, horrible. Do you hate or do you dislike Sin more, or what's the one on the way? The Ancient Wyvern? Not Ancient. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Right after the ogres.
Oh, we had a heartbreaking death on the right side from Easy.
No. Guardian Dragon. Yes, chat. Thank you. Chat, would you mind getting us a clip of that? We'd appreciate it.
Right. It looks like the setup to get down there failed, and he ended up falling down. A very unfortunate thing.
That's what can happen in these events, though. If you go, he's taking the risk with the speed.
I wonder if there's anything to learn about this, or if it was just a very, very unlucky misstep.
Gino was on full screen.
We could still go to their dummy accounts and clip it from there, I'm sure. So the organizers might be able to hook us up with a clip of that later.
Oh. Sadly, the dummy accounts, since they aren't affiliate, they don't have VODs enabled.
Oh,
or they just don't have VODs enabled in general.
Oh, that might be tough then.
I think in the future it'd be good to have a. I could have done it faster next time.
Still doesn't take away from the impressive accomplishment so far, and from the fact that Gino's still on a flawless run so far.
That absolutely. And even for like just a speed run, not even counting no hit, Easy's time for this is insane. No, oh no!
What exactly happened there? I was looking at it and I didn't understand.
I think he got. I think he wasn't sure if he wanted to attack or roll, and had a bit of a brain fart there.
Unfortunately,
I'm pulling up a clip right now.
Hits often come together. That's just too heartbreaking.
It's exactly what happens to me as well, and I'm sure a lot of other runners. Once you get one hit, you start to maybe be a little more risky.
Your mentality changes, and you're. Yeah, no, I completely understand that, and it's maybe hard to relate to it unless you've been there. But yeah, it's very, very hard to keep calm and collected when you've been maybe playing flawlessly for 2 or 3 hours straight, and then just the tiniest thing throws that into the ground, and now you are thinking in the back of your head that your run is no longer perfect, even though by all accounts you've done incredibly well.
Absolutely. Here is also in chat the clip for the second hit for those that missed it. Commentator gets timed out.
Well, at least we're getting paid, right?
You're getting what?
I'm joking. Oh, I think the hit on the head there didn't go as smoothly as it did for Easy.
But it was recovered here on the left side for Gino. He got some good hits on the head, and the Guardian Dragon decided he wasn't going to fly away, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Because that was the other fight I was thinking of, where he's just flying around.
Yeah, it is this one, as easy as it is a stressful fight. I don't know if you feel that way.
Yes, I hate it because it can so easily take so long.
Yeah.
And the fireball that he throws down.
I think I understand what's going on. So apparently this running attack has the property on this massive weapon to just stun lock. And perhaps it was done a little bit too late just now. And that's what happened? I'm guessing that must have been what went wrong. If you're wondering why we are seeing these enemies be killed as opposed to be ignored, you need to destroy all of them, or else the area won't let you continue. So a few of the flame butterflies that were picked up during the run now see their use here. You need to light these concerns and proceed to the next area after killing absolutely everything. And I think this, with spells and very, very strong bow and arrow, is actually kind of doable. But
correct.
Aren't you surprised that they are just tackling this with their own weapons, close combat?
Yeah.
I find it scary. And
both sides are definitely braver than I.
On the left, if you missed it, we'll now see Gino go through the Dragon Airy, which you would typically skip in the Scholar. So this is one of those areas where they actually need to spend a little bit more time. How much, though? Oh, God. Nice. That's a shortcut. Okay, well, that makes this a lot more manageable. Still, miss that little jump and you're dead. And that's a hit, so...
Yeah, there's no, oh no, let me try it again. And so I'm trying to think how, time-wise, how much ahead Easy is now after those two deaths. because he's been in this area for quite a long time. He would have had Dark Lurker dead by now.
To be fair, he did get a hit right next to a bonfire. The only thing is that he needed to set up the red tear stone, I believe, a couple times. So I would say maybe that adds a minute and a half tops. I think mentally it must be very draining, but in terms of actual time, I don't think it was that crazy. I don't know what hit in this run could set you back a lot. Maybe
getting hit on the way to Ancient Dragon.
Yeah, something like.
But even then,
Ancient
in Scholar,
Dragon,
it would set you back much further. In this one, maybe not some. Yeah. Which do you think is faster?
No, I actually think about it. Actually think about it. In Scholar, if you kill the Dragon Champion, you can do this a bunch of times. But here, if there's a fog gate that you need to go through on the second time, you understand, right? You cannot just waltz into the boss anymore. If Gino, let's hope it doesn't happen. But if Gino were to get hit in this boss, which again has a chance of happening because of some very sketchy glitch hitbox, he would need to run through and then run through a fog gate that isn't there at the start. And I don't know how hard or easy that would be, if I'm honest.
I think the time to poison and kill these two giants is about the same amount of time to kill the NPC. Or around that time.
But think about it. If you kill the NPC here, then you can go through here unlimited times, and there won't be any aggroed enemies.
True.
Yeah. Well, it seems like Gino's ready to just slowly dispatch the enemies regardless, so that's totally fine. And meanwhile, on the right, Easy will go through the final... Oh, he's going to use Force! Oh, that's so interesting. He's going to go through the final area. Oh, I love this. I love these cheeky uses of spells.
Get him!
Yes!
Hey, well, the rock.
No way,
dropping like a rock.
Love it. That was awesome. It looked really, really dangerous, though, if I'm honest.
Okay, he gets some style points for that one.
Okay, but hits deducted. Yeah, he's going through the final area of the Abyss sections. He's got some NPCs here that are not a big deal, I think. And then it's the Dark Lurker, which is actually one of the more unpredictable fights if you allow multiple... Look at that. If you allow multiple Dark Lurkers to stack up crazy attacks. I think it's one of the more beautiful fights, though. And there are some beautiful dodges that make it really impressive. So eyes on Easy right now.
So in chat, they're asking, isn't it 2 hits for his original hit? No. So he got hit once and he was unable to gain control of his character and he fell to his death. And so he was not able to avoid the second hit, which was that death. So we're not counting that one. Right. Would you agree? I can send you the clip in Discord.
Okay. Hold up.
So we're halfway down on Easy's Dark Lurker right now.
Basically, it does get a little bit technical and difficult at times, but basically if one hit forces a second hit that is now unavoidable, you don't count that. Some bosses, for example, will grab you and then bite onto you 600 times, and it doesn't count as 600 individual hits because you just failed the action of being grabbed, which counts as one hit. Could we? Is that a way to explain the consensus, perhaps?
Yeah, I agree with that one. And I think for tournament as well, especially.
Yeah, so
like you're not in control.
Yeah, being hit by an enemy that has a big weapon and kills you in one shot doesn't necessarily it's not necessarily that different from an enemy that grabs you and hits you 3 times during the animation, right?
Correct. That's their single attack animation.
Yeah,
essentially against you.
So we're gonna see a repeat of the cheese for the Ancient Dragon, a boss with a ridiculously high HP. You wouldn't think it, because he just happens to be weak to lightning a little bit, I believe. So Gino's actually hitting in many of his weaknesses at once. Luckily, it doesn't seem like we're going to see him fly away or do one of his sketchy attacks, but I'm still a little bit worried about this hitbox that happens on this stomping attack. I don't know if there's any weird condition to trigger it, but...
Any stomp AoE can be very finicky. Even Last Giant sometimes, I'm like, that hit?
And it also seems like they handle badly on different elevations as well for some enemies.
So Easy jumped right into Throne Bros fight. He's doing some no roll strats mixed. Oh my god!
What?
Send the cops. This man just violated that watcher.
What the hell, dude? Are you kidding me? There's no way, dude.
Thank you, Artie.
There's no way. Do you know how much blood and sweat you can leave on this arena trying to get better at these guys? Oh,
just
what?
Dominated them.
Check out that arrow. Oh my god, that was sick.
Okay, and then chat keeps asking about the chariot for Easy. We're going to keep a record of his time right after he finishes Aldia, and then Artie, the mod, is going to undeafen him in Discord. We'll tell him to check his inventory for the chariot soul or go back and see.
Right. Kind of nuts, dude. Like, there's a part of me that thinks, okay, so we're about halfway there, but no, we're really not. We're really
right
not.
At the end here.
What the hell, dude?
This is insane. GG there for Easy.
I think I do need an ambulance. It's so much to take in, honestly. This would be like flying a flat earther on a plane and watching him see the curvature of the earth. He would you would just shatter the core belief system that he once held. And even though a part of him would cling to that old belief, he would just not be able to process like the new information that's so undeniable.
I feel like they would say the window's curved.
Yeah, exactly. So to me, to see that just we're a little bit past 3 hours and just a few minutes or seconds away from seeing the final boss in this no-hit run be achieved. Like, no matter how much I think about it, he really has gone through every single boss, has he?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Good dodging with those.
This is one of the sketchiest attacks in the game, by the way.
Just running forward away from them sketches me out.
Yeah, not just so much for the attack itself, but what he can combo with like that. But he handled that expertly, probably very, very aware of how it can combo into other stuff. Okay, lovely. And remember that Aldia coats himself on fire, so
correct.
You need to
so he's
step
keeping
out.
some distance.
Yeah, the time is not precise. I think it actually changes a fair amount. So you cannot greet it or know the timing, because if you try to get too many hits, you could be hit by the fire there. That explosion also will hit you, by the way. So he keeps a really
yeah,
good...
that fire was much faster. So two hits and out. Max.
Yeah. So that goes to show that the 2-hit strategy, it's not him being cautious over nothing. He actually understands that that's all you can get away with if you're a little bit unlucky. So,
correct. And he is taking advantage of the boss buffing up so he can buff up himself.
Right. Oh, okay. I think this is one of those attacks that it removes his coating so you can do damage, but it's also really scary because it does so much stuff around it. So on Gino's side, we actually see him opting to take an extra Soul of Giant to half the HP of Vendrick. Of course, this comes with risk. He actually needs to go through this very, very alive war zone with a ton of enemies, arrows, and things going on. But he did handle it beautifully.
I think I think the fact that Easy got hit, I'm assuming Gino knows, and so he's doing some extra safe routes.
It is possible, yeah. I'm very sure he's more than capable of being in the Vendrick fight for an extra minute.
Because I've watched him no roll that fight for a very long time as well.
Wow,
and that's
really?
done with Aldia, so we're going to check that that in-game time here.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow. Genuinely speechless stuff from Easy, though. And
so 305.
And to think that the hits that he took are just basically nothing. Like, you could easily go back and it's like, that just baffles me. That's so crazy. So I guess we will be checking whether or not all bosses were really achieved, and whether or not he needs to jump back in and kill the last one.
Correct. Yeah. So he's logging in right now. Chat was able to tell him because he's in chat right now as well.
Okay, lovely.
So he's checking in.
If you are in chat, Easy, incredible performance. Thank you so much for showing us that.
Yep.
Okay,
bone too early, looks like.
Oh, does that mean that he's gonna have to go through the entire 50-minute credit sequence?
Yeah, we can probably main screen Gino for now.
Oh, dude. Yeah. All right. So since Gino has a little bit of catching up to do, that actually plays out just fine.
Correct.
Because Gino will probably need, I think, a little over 8 minutes perhaps to wrap this up, right? Let's see exactly how much he has to catch up. We have Sir alone, correct me if I'm wrong, still remaining. Is that so?
Correct, on Gino's side.
And then the final bosses, and then... Is that it? And the chariot as well. And Dark Lurker, right? So yeah, as fast and speedy as he is, Gino will need a few minutes to deal with that at least. Kind of crazy that Kota Hoshino is in the credits for this game. I'm seeing that on the side. Kota Hoshino, I think, composed some of the Armor Core soundtracks that are such good tracks. And you forget that From Software is more than just Dark Souls.
I actually have like a CD of Dark Souls 3's soundtrack in my car.
Really?
Yeah. It was a gift, but every once in a while, throw it on. You're like, oh yeah,
that's so nice. Dark Souls 3 is Kitamura, I believe, or Yuki Kimura. I think the main composer, right?
Your pronunciation is going to be better than mine.
No, I think it's. I think she is the main composer for the third one. And I believe that Kitamura actually did a cooperation album of tracks with Alex Rowe, which is a known community member for remixing some of these Dark Souls songs and making their own. Nice. Their own
smooth
little soundtracks for them and albums. So it's so cool to see that the community gets along with the developers like that.
True. Also want to address chat. The reason that we're having Easy go through and kill the last boss is there's still a chance for Gino to take 2-3 hits, and it could still come down to time. And I believe it would be unfair if we just say, add 2 minutes to Easy's time when when he didn't officially kill the bosses, especially because we're not on a time constraint right now because we still have to wait for Gino's run.
Yeah, it honestly works out just fine.
If Gino was done, then we would just say Gino won and not have Easy go through the last boss again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, isn't it a bit of a relief seeing Gino do so much damage?
Oh, yeah.
Compared to the agonizingly slow fight that we had to witness earlier?
Absolutely. I guess he's very happy he got that extra soul.
Do you think it's actually faster to go through the memory or to kill it? I guess in a speedrun, it's faster to kill it because you don't need the risk. But
true.
Damn, I would say both
are very close together.
Mm-hmm. A PB of 2 hits or a result of 2 hits, honestly, on this run, if you told me a couple of years ago someone could do it this fast, even if it's not 0, that would blow my mind. Oh, dude.
In just over 3 hours. Just finishing it in just over 3 hours.
That's just ridiculous. It really mixes the hardest elements of a speedrun, which is management, improvising, very precise inputs, of course, with the hardest aspects of a no-hit run, which is mentally you need to be there all of the time. And
absolutely,
should any mistake happen, you need to keep your composure, and we've seen that on both sides of the screen.
Quite a few times today. And they got out of them for the most part.
Yeah, right. Considering the 2 hits aside, considering the amount of times both of these players have been against the ropes and have been in situations where even the most skilled veterans would probably end up taking a hit, I think it's nothing short of a miracle, honestly. But maybe
I think Easy's that hidden gem, that hidden gem of skill that's just been uncovered.
Perhaps saying miracle is just taken away from their dedication and the time they've sunk. they've sunk into this. So yeah, full.
Oh, I'm not saying miracle. I'm just a hidden like he.
No. I'm just talking about myself. I think.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I think you need to acknowledge, just.
Yeah, you don't wake up being able to do this.
No, absolutely not. Right, so seems like
he held that second arrow. If you notice, he had to make a split decision to either like retract his bow or wait to roll or to shoot, and he chose to do the damage.
And I think that's okay because of the stone ring, right?
Correct. I probably would have waited to roll just to be extra safe, but these guys are like they're already kind of they're more difficult than others to roll just because their attacks are so fast.
And I believe these, despite being the same enemy types you have in the Iron Keep, I believe these enemies behave slightly different, by the way. On top of having more HP and whatnot. I think their AI is slightly different.
Either more aggressive or something. More aggressive.
Yeah, I really do think so. I would like to be wrong. Maybe it's just the pressure of you coming here. But no, I do think they're even faster or have more poise. There's something that I remember back in my practice that made these guys just harder to deal with.
True. And Easy is saying in chat, he's a YOLO in this part is kind of meme.
Honestly, why did they come down here? Doesn't it seem more easy to just kill with bow and arrow the guys up there? Are they aware of something we're not?
I think they've proven that multiple times.
Okay, listen, no, fair enough. I'm not asking in general. I'm just wondering about this section. Are they afraid of the lizards shooting through the ceiling down below?
That wouldn't surprise me.
Maybe it's just better to just outrun them here. Well,
just watching it.
Either way, it does seem safer. I was under the impression that these enemies follow you all the way down here.
It's nice that they don't. I think some might, so that's why they have to kill some, but that particular one they can leave.
Yeah, you might be right, actually. Perhaps if you try to YOLO it, some of the first enemies do follow you here.
Correct, because everyone here has tried to YOLO it through this part because it's so tedious, and they've all gotten caught at that fog gate, so there's definitely enemies that follow you.
Can we appreciate the masterful control of the walk
spacing
to just... Oh my god. To just, like, strafe some of these insane attacks?
God.
Oh, this attack is troublesome, I think.
The AoE stomp type attacks, man.
Yeah, I think they have weird timings and hitboxes at times.
Whoa.
Oh.
You can just strafe that? Oh, okay. All right, Gino.
Listen,
okay.
You know when you die, your camera sometimes does this weird janky movement? I genuinely thought he got hit, dude. And it's not the first time that happens with either of these players. Oh my god.
I feel like he normally would have rolled, but he went for some style right there. I don't know how or why. But that does not seem like a sane thing to do.
Okay, we need to point out that Gino, seemingly, I could be wrong here, he has beaten all of the bosses that we are seeing today at level 1. No hit.
Correct.
So for whatever boss he is chewing through, he has some sort of backup strat to just do it slowly, surely, with no iframes, which means minimal rolling, if any, and mostly just great spacing and strafing for the most part. So we're gonna see Gino now go to the Chariots arena. We expect this boss to be very, very quick, and for the most part, I think it should go without a hitch. Is there anything risky? Perhaps the NPC up ahead?
It seems pretty straightforward at this point because you can run past the NPC into the fog gate. And we are mistaken, he did not complete Dark Souls 2 All Bosses DLC SO1, but he has done it in Dark Souls 3.
You know what? I do recall him saying that he did it off stream, or perhaps it was some sort of segmented. At any rate, I have good reason to believe that he's capable of doing it. So I'm not surprised at all when he doesn't even need to roll through some of these incredibly aggressive bosses.
I'll agree with that. Absolutely.
Looks like he's going to go for...
Geo, he has done in DS2? Okay, sorry, I was checking the hitless page.
He did talk about it very candidly, which, goes to show just how casually impressive some of these achievements are.
Oh, yeah.
And it's kind of funny that they're not converging again, despite everything. But yeah, he's back on track, and he will need to kill a boss. He's out of the kill, but failed to secure the kill off by teleporting early, a little bit earlier than he needed to.
Mm-hmm. And so he'll be able to just kill the boss, and then the second he gets that soul, just quit out of the game.
Yeah, and that would be the time, which predictably is going to be about, 3 hours, 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah, like 3:12 or 3:10 probably, because he kills chariots so fast.
I wonder if the credit sequence keeps the time rolling. That would be...
It does not.
Okay. You know that for a fact. How do you know?
Just from playing the game so much.
Wow. Well, that's a question I would have not been able to answer, so thank you, Drunky.
Wait, people are saying it does count?
Uh-oh. Well...
What? I feel like I've quit out of the game and like checked the time and then gone through the credits to go to like New Game Plus, and it was like the same.
It doesn't Scholar.
Credits are like 9 minutes. I'll take chat's word for it.
Oh, okay. Either way, that makes this even more exciting. It's not at all impossible for Gino, as well as he has been doing, of course, to be hit twice, because he still has some mean bosses to go through. But at this stage, I don't put it past him to do the rest of this flawlessly, honestly.
Correct. Yeah, absolutely.
So far, we are missing, correct me if I'm wrong, the 3 final bosses, being the Throne Watcher, Defender, Nashandra, and Aldia, as well as the Dark Lurker, right? Right after this?
That should be it, yeah.
Okay. So
I've always noticed on Twitch, whenever you want chat to be active, say something incorrect.
Honestly, we have been lectured quite a bit today in a very, very good way. We have learned a lot thanks to chat. So
I love it.
Super happy you guys are on top of things and correcting us where we need to be corrected. So thank you so much.
There's just a rule for any interaction on the internet, says Captain. True. All right, so 3:17.
Okay, how do you feel about meleeing these enemies? I would be so scared.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
Especially we're going to go for a similar strat here, though.
Especially at this stage of the game.
One subtle difference, though, you might have noticed. Gino is doing this one-on-one, whereas
compared to this.
Easy just brought the 2 of them and did it at the same time, which I imagine is obviously faster, but also
true.
Brings considerable risk.
So I'm wondering if some aspects of Gino's run now, after finding out, the situation, if he's choosing safer strats that he normally wouldn't have, and he's going because he does have a luxury right now.
Yeah. I think obviously the thing that makes Gino Gino, without having to say anything else, is his ability to not be a one-trick pony, but rather, as we said earlier, be patient when he needs to be patient, be aggressive when he needs to be aggressive. And I think he understands now that it's time to follow the plan, but not test his luck.
Correct, yeah. And then Backflippius in chat was saying that they have also learned a lot from us too. So I'm loving that this is a two-way street of just the whole Dark Souls community here, or a good portion of us. Well, it
was good to share our wartime stories, and honestly, looking back, it's nostalgic in a really good way. I'll see
you guys at the reunion next year.
So it looks like the final time was 3 hours 17 minutes, which would seem to indicate that I think the credit time counted. Because if he ended at 3:05, and the boss took just a couple minutes to kill again.
Yeah, I was mistaken.
Well, you know what?
Deg also brought something up very important in chat, saying, "Have they learned that DS2 is the best Souls game yet?"
Listen, that is a lesson that is not always easy to impart. Okay, so Gino's gonna go through this fateful area where unfortunately a hit happened before. He does it flawlessly. Does not have a red tear stone. I wonder if he can set it up. And I'm interested in knowing how exactly he is going to deal with these enemies, because we saw Easy have a very powerful mace that allowed him to stunlock them. I don't think Gino has that kind of firepower, right? So Did I say mace? Sorry, the twin blades. So
Correct.
I don't think Gino has that in his arsenal. He's gonna have to do something else.
I think he's going to do more a more traditional Throne Bros fight, I believe.
Which is not a big deal.
No.
But which is not a big deal. But this area is the one that scares me. I think it's the worst of the three chasms.
Turtle Boy moves fast.
Yeah, I don't think he's bothered at all. I think, okay, it might be so that with the Stone Ring, he doesn't need to worry about as much. You know, he's keeping an eye out for the other guy. Yeah, with the Stone Ring,
Which is smart. Good timing. Could have been rough.
What the hell, dude? How's he gonna kill them? I guess he's got a spot somewhere here where he can. Oh, he did inflict poison with his arrows. I missed that part. Nice.
Just taken away.
That enemy, which is the tankier one, should be nearly dead now. About a third. Yeah, it seems like getting through them and just shooting from here safely is the strat. That would explain why he shot so carelessly and so quickly. He just needed to get them moving.
I mean, especially because we saw a hit here. Not only a hit, but a death for Easy when he was trying to melee.
To be completely fair, I think you'll agree. If Easy was in the riding the wave, I think he would have been fine.
The high.
I think he would have been fine. I think it was just mental recovery from the hit that he just took, which was admittedly just heartbreaking.
True, I'll definitely agree with that.
So I think that hit counts, but in terms of skill, I don't think that.
Yeah. Anyone who's done a no hit, well, even let alone just play Dark Souls, and like you die to a boss and or you lose your souls, right? And you go to the boss again, you're obviously more aggressive, you have less to lose.
Yeah. And I guess that kind of mindset also carries on.
Leading to mistakes, yeah.
Okay, I'm a big fan of how he dealt with this, by the way. I love the fact that the bow just gives him a bit of room for mistakes. Getting up and personal is super risky. And props to Easy for even thinking of doing that.
Exactly.
That's what makes the run that short. But I don't think anyone can do that, honestly.
Yeah, if you're planning for
having a 0-hit run behind you. Oof.
Yeah, trying to do a no-hit run and do speed at the same time. I think personally I would still bow these guys, but that's just because I guess I'm just not familiar enough to melee them. See, if people notice there, he held his shot because he was a little behind the rock, so he wanted to make sure he strafed to the right so his arrow didn't hit that rock and not kill the enemy.
Mm-hmm. And that's something that you either learn.
Oh, fuck.
Are you kidding me? You cannot convince me that was purposefully done. He's messing with us.
That's what happens to me when you use the sunset staff too close to somebody, and the spell just goes right above their head.
Okay, so
and you get hit.
Actually, for the dark,
turn it around on the game
that we're gonna see coming up real soon. I think there is a spell that works exactly like that, where if he casts a certain spell, you can literally start attacking and duck underneath it. And I hope we see that in this one fight.
Ooh.
Wow. Chat, how's your heartbeat? Are you hanging in there just fine? Do you see the 0 hits thing on screen? You know what that means? You might just see, please correct me if I'm wrong, Drunky, the first on command Dark Souls 2 no-hit run.
I agree. To my knowledge.
It is, right? There's like 3 idiots that have even tried to do this run in the world, basically. And only 1 or 2 in this case mad enough to try to do it on a tournament, let alone achieve it.
Oh, yeah. Live and everything.
And so knowing that, it's not every day. Like, I know, the collective accomplishments of the community add up to a lot, but it's not every day that you watch something that is just as unlikely and historic as what we could be witnessing here right now. And we are just mere minutes away from it. I believe 4 bosses, and they're all going to be rapid fire one after another. So
yeah, there's no more setup. There's no more unlocking things.
Mm-hmm. Whatever watch out. Ooh. That's the sparks of the arrow coming his way. Oof.
I think
Oh god!
very
Oh god! Sorry.
Stone Ring, baby.
I know the Stone Ring. I know the Stone Ring's the job.
But yeah, he was not in a spot where he could avoid the arrow unless he rolled, which scary.
Yeah,
I'm pretty confident with him and a bow. We've seen him excel with it so often and come out of situations that anyone else would have gotten hit and freaked out. And he would just, strafed to the right, held the shot, or held the bow in order to roll at the right time. We've seen it over and over again.
You might be thinking that he's kind of being very passive here and being really scared on that corner. I think it's for a good reason. I believe that if he goes a little bit further, he could spawn that third enemy that has these widely unpredictable, despawning, invisible attacks. So I think he might have been for the best. You'll see it right now. You'll see it spawn there. Yeah, this enemy you want to just kill ASAP before one of those. You saw nothing, did you? One of those invisible attacks somehow hits you. So good job, Gino. Good job, Gino. Oh my god.
It reminds me of the jailers in Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, I guess it's a similar concept. Oh god. So yeah, there's one more enemy, and I believe that might just be the final enemy he needs to beat, which is super easy. And after that, I think it's boss after boss after boss. So, while
this is intense.
Elevator's coming up, he actually sets the thing on fire. I love it. Optimizing it even here. And yeah, I am.
And Chad, just remember, there is still a chance for Easy to win. It's not game over right now. The tournament's still going. There's a chance for Gino to just get steamrolled by Throne Watcher Defender or Aldia, or Nashandra, maybe.
Yeah, I think we think Nashandra is possibly the most predictable out of the bunch, but she can still be nasty and can be a bit of RNG fest. Every other boss in this list is mean as hell. So let's see how he deals with this. He knows that even on the fastest possible attack, he has time to pull this off. Oh, that is another easy buff while the boss is doing some crazy thing up there that cannot possibly hit you if you're running
nice.
It.
A Mirrored Knight style buff.
Come on. Uh-oh. That's a couple hits. But no, go get too greedy!
He saved it. He saved the stamina. Nice.
Oh my lord. Okay.
He's getting a lot of damage in there.
Okay, that's an AoE coming up. Most likely splitting up right after this. Yup, you can hit them both. If you time your attack right, which he absolutely did, but he's not getting greedy.
Smart. Nice. He waited. He did not get greedy.
Yes, nicely.
You want to explain that last bit of fear right there?
Okay. Yeah. No. Oof. Where to begin? I'm not even sure we're on the same page, but yeah, he waited. He delayed an attack because he knew that if he waited the extra second, he could hit with a heavy attack, which I think is what he did, and hit both of the bodies that the Dark Looker splits into. And what happened there at the end, what I think Drunk is referring to, you can kill one of the bodies and have the other body do a last-ditch attack. Is that what you were?
Yeah. Yep. Just like how on the Najka fight, if she has, Homing Crystal Soul Mass and dies, after you get the souls, they could still come after you.
Yeah, and that happened also, I'm sure you remember, on the DLC Ilana fight, where she summoned Belstadt. He could have easily killed her, and perhaps a less veteran player would have gone for the kill. But Gino knows that if you kill and you get hit right after, it's still a hit. So he was cold, calculating, and absolutely successul in that. So.
And he's played all the Souls game, and there's things like this in every Souls, just like in Dark Souls 1. On the Smo and Ornstein fight, there's that glitch where after you kill them, there's like a lingering hitbox in the field or in the arena, which does result in a hit. And so I think having knowledge across all the Souls games really comes together to benefit you in every run you do.
Which now that you mentioned that, it's also very impressive how Gino is. Unlike us, for example, which we just love Dark Souls 2 and we don't mind dedicated time. Gino is this level of good at every game that he plays.
Correct.
And it's just so crazy. Do you think he's going to do the same strat? Okay.
Same opening, but he doesn't have the same amount of damage. But he did the same opening. That's so
okay. I think he whiffed an attack, which will extend this a little bit. Still, ridiculously precise opening. I cannot.
It's fantastic opening damage. And you can always shoot a bow or go after her when she's buffing.
You can actually use the knowledge of their early AI to make this kind of safe at the start. And believe it or not, just having a safe start does wonders for your mental health, if you will. But no, they choose to be incredibly aggressive and get a bunch of health off the bosses. It's so crazy. And notice that this boss, typically you would want to sap both of their healths a little bit. And by the time you kill one, you should be able to close to quickly kill the other, because they can revive each other. But that's really not a concern for Gino on his DPS right now. So despite the defender having full HP, we're probably going to see him melt. Wow. Okay. He could play it a little bit easier there.
I thought it was funny that the watcher didn't even know that they were under 50% for a while.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wait, I'm supposed to go to phase 2.
Oh god. This
doesn't happen that often.
When you see the shield be removed, then you know that he's going to go for the. When he starts running like that, he's going to go for the rescue. Oh, my heart, dude.
2 left.
My heart. I cannot take this. Again, if you just tuned in, cheeky arrow tech to hit Nashandra early on. Gino is 2 bosses away from doing one of the fastest Dark Souls 2 no-hit runs, only topped by him, I believe, maybe. Either way, it is the first Dark Souls 2 no-hit run done on command on a tournament setting. And the fact that we have 2 people able to contest for this is insane. And the fact that almost both of them made it this far without hits is honestly mind-boggling, but we still have the chance to see one of them do this hitless. And this boss fight presents some unique challenges. He needs to mine the passive orb damage. Oh my god.
I'm staring at the health bar, don't worry. That's probably the hardest part of this fight. Making sure you're positioning yourself correctly to not get ticked by that orb.
But do you see how close he was?
Yeah. He was. I got worried. That's why I full screened it. I'm staring at that health bar.
Yeah.
Because the curse pots will build up your curse and then it will proc. But Nashandra's curse clouds are different because they'll actually do take
like
HP damage while they build up curse.
It's like they do 2 effects at once, and it's widely accepted that because they are avoidable, you can you would consider that as a hit. So Gino is going to do a lot of damage, greater NG with this big ball, and it turns out that the most consistent way to dodge it is to just sprint. I'm telling you, it is stressful regardless. He could have probably done a lot more damage, but
he's so close to the end right now.
Yeah, why would you?
Yeah.
Why would you? Believe it or not, counting time when your heart is racing is a lot harder than when you're calm and collected. Although
that makes sense.
I'm not even sure Gino has a heart at this point.
He does. It's just mechanical.
I think realizing that he's a little bit far and he could potentially get caught by the early fire if it's unlucky enough, he, with good judgment, decided not to create a hit in.
It's smart.
Okay, what's going on?
He was avoiding the pillars.
I think I missed the sound cue. I didn't see it. Great job. Okay, just one more big attack and he's honestly got this. And he's probably... Okay, he does have time for one, but no more risk. One more big orb attack. Okay, that's not it. I think running behind it is the more consistent way of dodging it. I've seen these pillar attacks do insane turns. This one will do a bunch of AoE around it. He could do some damage if he decides to get close. Does he? Ooh. Oh my goodness!
Getting it.
Drunky, just tell me, is this a no-hit run on all bosses?
This is, in fact, my fellow Otzdarva, this is a DS2 base, or not base, or yeah, DS2 original copy. No hit, all bosses, all content, including DLC, mini bosses. 41 bosses.
I've been here this whole time. Why can I not believe it?
In under 4 hours, by the way.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
In under 4 hours. This goes to show once again what we were talking about in the beginning, where Otzdarva did the original run, in 12, or was it 11 hours?
Yeah, like 12 hours. And then we brought it down a bunch, and it already felt like we were doing things so fast.
Mm-hmm. And so these runs can continue to be, messed with, tinkered with, finding new things, just evolving over the years.
To call this impressive is an understatement. Gino, you have done incredible. You've taken the winning spot in this tight race. Easy_WW, a friend from Brazil, also did a hell of a run with only one small mistake that resulted into hits. But
correct.
That could have easily been.
It's one hit total in my heart.
Yeah. And without the whole teleport out early, that was a no-hit run in less than 3 hours flat, pretty much.
Right?
Which is also...
Just think about just beating the game any percent time-wise. Even under 3 hours for that is impressive. We obviously have people that have excelled with that, but for a traditional person playing Dark Souls, it's under 3 hours or what? Excuse me?
And this is not a small game where you can just practice the 10 bosses and learn them really well, or a game that has incredibly tight controls where everything is airtight. This game is incredibly inconsistent, throws the weirdest things at you, and despite all of that, we just witnessed this. It's
Alt F4 to see the time.
It's really just so crazy. If you guys had, obviously, I've had the enormous pleasure of witnessing this along with my great friend Drunky and along with all of you. But if you guys really have been here since the start, or if you just tuned in, I think that what you just witnessed is really a once in a lifetime, pretty much type.
If you got here recently and just saw the end of this, it's not often that I suggest go watch the entire VOD, from start to finish, because most people won't. This is one of those times where I say you really, really, really need to, because this was, even if you know the ending throughout this entire this event, it's been phenomenal.
Do you remember the time in the second DLC when Gino had the most intimidating enemy next to the other most intimidating enemy in the game, both try to kill him at once, and he had to open a door with a super slow lever that gives you no iframes in this game in the hardest DLC, and he just went and did it.
Perfectly timed rolls, no panicking.
I erased that from my brain.
How did that feel? How do you feel after dodging that? And we'll get to the fact that you're just
I definitely deserve to get hit right there. What ended up happening was I was just a bit too early on the cycle of
running past it?
Yeah, the shoulder lava that comes out. I was a bit too quick. So if I had done what I would normally do, which is just slow walk behind him, he would have turned, and I probably I don't know. I didn't. I don't know. It's just a weird position, and I was a bit slow, so I'm I got to get there fast, and then I aggroed him, and then.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Well, that was just a small highlight of an incredibly tight run. And I think that if there was a third secret set of credits, it should have played now, because you have beaten this game badly, dude.
Another close call when he was holding the bow against the Alone Knight, and instead of waited to fire, or all those times he waited to shoot in order to roll instead for, oh my god.
Yeah, you have demonstrated cool-headedness under what I imagine is enormous stress. Now, we do joke about you being a robot and whatnot, but what was the most stressful part about this whole thing?
Well, it's whenever you're at least whenever I'm doing these events or tournaments, whatever, it's always the first few minutes of the run. You just get past the reset point, and then you're just okay, do not mess up now. But then once you get I don't know, I had some scares obviously, but once I got past the first rotten, I was that was good.
When he got back in the groove.
Yeah, well, it's you just got to get adjusted for it, and then once you're kind of settled in, then it's not too bad.
And I would also love to hear some statements from Easy.
Easy. If you can type in the chat, we'd love to hear.
Yeah, either in our conversation or in the chat, we would love to hear a word. What was the most tense moment for you?
Let's see, what is the fastest all boss run? Because Gino beat his previous time.
Did he? I think he uploaded a 3 hour 15 minutes or so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did a run earlier this week for practice. That was 3:18.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But still, even you must understand that doing it on command is something else, dude.
Yeah, I peached so much stuff, especially like later in the run. Like there's a lot of things that I would normally be doing that I'm just like, you know what? If I like, I was gonna do it if I wasn't at 0, but since I was at 0, I'm like, I'll just take it slow.
See, that's what I was figuring.
I feel Drunky identified that immediately.
Yeah,
because you had the luxury, Why not?
Yeah, dude. It's still crazy to think that Gino taking it easy is still twice as fast as you doing it the fastest you could possibly imagine. So yeah, Gino, what a fucking pleasure to see you do that. And easy. What an insane thing that you showed up here to do an Owl Boss's no-hit run.
Can we just talk about the fact that Easy backstepped Ivory King before the finisher?
Oh my god. Imagine that goes on to be a hitless run and it was this close. And you can say that you did that. I would put that on my resume for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
I don't care, dude. I don't care if I work at McDonald's and they don't know what a Dark Souls is. I don't care. That is insane. So yeah, incredible showmanship from the two of you. Incredibly deep knowledge of the game that surprised me and Drunky. I didn't realize this was not Scholar for a solid 5 minutes. To my embarrassment. So that was really fun too. That was a great twist.
Blew his mind.
Yeah.
Easy is saying that the early game was kind of stressful to mimic Gino's comment as well.
Mm-hmm. But you have to give it to Easy. His early game was just sped up. Like it was crazy. It was so fast.
Correct.
Yeah. I was keeping an eye on like I when I do like tournaments and stuff, I like to know what's going on. So I was like keeping an eye on his run, like at certain points, and like I forget at what point I was at, but I was at like, I don't know, maybe it was like Iron King, and then I'm like, okay, I wonder what he's at, and he's like just like 4 bosses ahead of me, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, like I didn't think I was that much slower, but
that must be a bit hard to stomach because you never were that far behind him, but because you had taken the time to unlock some areas and get some keys and whatnot, at some point, like it did feel like there was several bosses between the two of you, but you were not even at that point that much slower. So,
but
it's like as well, handled that so well.
They both had slight variances in the order of bosses that they killed as well. And so at one point, even though Gino was technically behind in boss kills and progress, they were both in a frozen Elysium Lois, I think it's pronounced.
Yeah. Oh, you
so
guys
it was like side by side, literally same spot. You guys
need to watch this afterwards. There were times where you were both like dancing on the screen and doing the same moves at the same time. It was awesome. Oh. Well, I've really been left speechless. I've said everything I wanted to say. Perhaps Drunky has some closing statements, or perhaps you guys would like to send a message off. But that's gonna be all for me. I'm gonna leave it to the organizers to close this. I am thoroughly impressed and thoroughly honored to have been here. Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Otz. Thanks for hanging, man.
All right. It was such an amazing run. Thank you so much. Thanks so much for participating. It was incredible, to be honest. I don't know so much about DS2, to be honest. But even one like me that doesn't know too much about the game, I was really impressed. Thank you so much for participating on this first day. I'm gonna say goodbye to the chat. Okay guys, thank you so much for being here. It was such an amazing first day with Dark Souls 2 all bosses. Great first day indeed. And we'll be back tomorrow with more content. Tomorrow we have DS1 and DS3 all bosses. And Sunday we have Bloodborne and Sekiro, with amazing runners and amazing commentators as well. It will be pretty awesome. Thank you so much for being here. From the part of all the moderation team, we really appreciate all the support and having this amazing community we build up together. Now let's find someone to rate. So we're gonna rate Eden Issue. Give him some love. But yeah, again, guys, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate all the support you are giving us on these amazing events, and there's more coming. So stay tuned. It will be awesome tomorrow and Sunday and the next events we are planning with the moderation team. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy our content, and all the VODs will be stored there. Follow us on Twitter, join our Discord, check out our website. But yeah, thank you so much. And I didn't introduce myself. I introduced all the runners and the commentators, but not myself. I'm Art, by the way. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.